Okay, so what we're doing is a one-shot using the Cypher system, which is similar to Numenera. Starting at the top of your character sheet, you obviously have a name, and then that character is the one I'm looking at is a brash adventurer who needs no weapons. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Tier 1, at Tier 1 you have effort of 1.
Mm-hmm.
Effort is the number of times that you can really try to dig into your resources to apply a little extra effort to whatever task you're trying to do. That's the number of times per round you can do that. Okay? Based on brash adventurer needs no weapons, you get a certain amount of points that go into might, a certain amount of points that go into speed, and a certain amount of points that go into intellect, and then a pool of points that can be spent amongst the three however you choose. Okay? You also might get some bonuses in one of the areas, like you might get an extra point of edge, or you might get extra edge in another stat. When you apply effort, you spend points out of your pools to apply that effort.
Mm-hmm.
If you have edge in that pool, you can use that edge once per turn to decrease that cost. Okay? Well, once per effort is what I should say, but you're tier 1, so you're only going to be doing it once per turn anyway. The first level of effort that you apply, which is the only thing you're going to have to worry about at tier 1, because I wanted to keep it simple, so I didn't go up multiple tiers.
Mm-hmm.
The most times you can apply effort is 1, so you can only apply 1 level of effort. That costs you 3 points out of the pool. So if you have an edge of 1, it will cost you 2 points instead of 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have edge in that pool, it costs you the full 3 points. You'll see you also have recovery roll. For most of the characters, it's 1d6 plus 1.
Mm-hmm.
It's a d6 plus your tier, so you're tier 1, so it's plus 1. Some characters, part of their build out gave them an extra bonus on that, so there might be 1d6 plus 2. There's one character that actually gets an extra recovery roll per day that also counts as an extra, which I thought that was really cool. Recovery rolls work this way. You can spend 1 as an action. The next time you spend 1, it has to be after a 10-minute break, 10-minute rest. Then you have to have an hour rest, then you have to have a 10-hour rest. So basically you get 4 per day, but the more you use...
That was me you were talking about. I was like,
Oh, okay.
here it is!
The more you use, the more rest you have to get another one. There are also things like healing kits and like first aid kits.
And the recovery roll can be applied to any stat.
Yeah, and you can spread it out amongst stats. Like if you rolled a 6,
yeah,
you could put 2 in each of your stat pools if you wanted to, or you could put all 6 on one if one was really hurting.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got your special abilities, which those also come as options based on your brash adventurer needs no weapons. Some of them will have like a page number. Danger, like in this one I've got Danger Sense. It costs 1 point of speed to use, and it's on page 39. And then this one also has Muscles of Iron. It costs 2 might to use, and it's on page 40. And Needs No Weapons, which I referenced the page 40, but that's actually from the focus, so it's not really on that page 40. But if you look over at the skills, I've got speed defense if not wearing armor, and initiative. Oh wait, no need for weapons. That's a bonus on damage. Unarmed attacks is normally 2 points of damage. It's 4. Did I do that right on that one? Because I'm not sure I did.
What?
What's your? You got no need for weapons?
No.
What's the thing that you had that wasn't on the?
Oh, I thought that page was the focuses.
Oh, okay.
Because I saw no need for weapons. I knew there were characters that said no need for weapons.
Okay. But no need weapons does extra damage if you're using... Your fist is normally a light weapon and does 2 points of damage, a fist or kicking or whatever. But if you have no need for weapons, you get plus 2 damage. So you do 4 damage with it instead of none. And then various other ones that will have benefits. Then you've got skills. Whatever skills you have, I've got in there. If T is checked, you're trained in it.
What does that do for...
If you're trained in a skill and an action that you're doing tags that skill, then if you're trained, it counts as 1 level easier to do. Okay? If you're specialized, it counts, which is the S, it counts as, 2 levels easier to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Everything's based on a 1 to 10 level system. Every challenge, everything you come against, I will assign a level. It may be so mundane that it doesn't even necessarily need a die roll, but like if you're trying to break through a locked door, that door will be assigned by me a certain level based on how hard the wood is, whether it's reinforced, whatever. And so then you would make a might roll against the door's level. Say I assigned the door level 3 because it's not really that tough a door. Level 3, you multiply the level by 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. On a d20, you need to roll a 9 or better, and you will succeed in breaking through the door. If you're trained in might tasks, or like tasks that have to do with bending or breaking, then it's not a level 3 challenge for you. It counts as 1 easier. It's level 2, so you only need a 6 or better. If at that point you apply effort, applying effort decreases it by another level, so it's level 1, so you're going to succeed on a 3 up. Okay, does that make sense?
That confuses the crap out of me, so I usually just tell him what I roll, and then I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I get that, but some of the skills, I don't know, like, when they would come into effect. Like, speed defense, like what?
Okay,
what would trigger
a
that?
speed defense is generally going to be triggered by an attack on you.
Okay.
Most of the time when you're attacked, you're trying to avoid the attack. Usually it's a speed defense roll.
Oh, okay. So you'll tell me.
Right.
Okay.
That would be if like something's going on, it's like, okay, I need a speed defense roll.
Cool.
That's going to tag that skill.
Okay.
If it's another situation and you think based on what the skill name is, if you think it might apply, just ask.
Okay.
You know, it's like, oh, well, I'm trained in overcoming fear. Is this a fear thing?
Yeah.
No, this isn't actually fear. Oh, okay. And, you know, or
Okay.
yes, this is a fear effect. So you gain that training benefit.
Gotcha.
You will have ciphers depending on your character build. You'll have 2 or 3. Ciphers are one-shot use. Okay, once you use it, it's gone. And it basically, typically you use your action to tap into it, but not necessarily always. But usually it's your action to use it. And then, of course, your equipment you will have listed over there. I tried to, if it was something that I felt like it needed to be described, like this particular character has a Derringer with 2 barrels over and under, and it's considered a light firearm. And so I also labeled it as a light weapon, and it can fire up to short range. So I tried to be descriptive. I think you've got a revolver, which is a medium firearm, and it's a medium weapon. So it can fire up to long range.
So what does medium weapon mean?
If you look in your attacks,
Yeah.
I didn't label it per item because basically, for the most part, you're going to be going into this situation just as people traveling somewhere. You're not all outfitted to go into combat.
I was gonna say, I don't think I have a weapon.
Yeah. So in most cases, whatever weapons you're going to be using is what you find at hand that you can use.
So it has
have a dagger.
It has mod and then it has damage. What's the mod?
So light weapons, which are like unarmed attacks or just a light weapon, they treat any attack as 1 level easier to succeed at.
Okay.
So that mod is 1 level.
Gotcha.
They typically do 2 damage.
Yeah.
Okay. The medium weapons have no modifier, and they do 4 damage. Heavy weapons have no modifier, but they do require 2 hands to use.
Gotcha.
And
what are the ranges like for long range or short range?
Short range is all right. First, let me start with immediate range. Immediate range is where you could attack in melee. Okay, which is being adjacent up to about 20 feet away. You can cover 20 feet and still attack. Okay. Short range is up to 50 feet. Long range is up to 100 feet.
Okay.
And extremely long range is anything past that.
Gotcha. Cool.
I think that covers most of that. You'll see on your second page, you've got under background.
I have my one.
That there is a bond. For example, this character has one other player character. I was going to pick these, but I'll let you guys pick. I just want to make sure everybody gets picked as a bond to somebody else. He seems to believe that the only true weapons are those that you can hold in your hand, and he might look at you with disdain because this guy is built to fight without weapons. So
Yeah.
you know, so I would go, okay. Well, the soldier Leo thinks that the only true weapons are things that you can hold in your hand, and he doesn't really respect my fighting style because I don't use weapons. And that's the bond that I have. Any questions?
It's my bond. Do we have to tell people the bond? Can we just say you're chosen?
You are the chosen one.
Well, it depends on what your bond is,
Okay.
actually.
Who is very susceptible to being attacked? What is your descriptor?
Naive.
No. Oh yeah, that is my descriptor.
You're doomed.
I'm doomed.
Where's the descriptor at?
You're
It's by
you're
your
resilient. Definitely
Yeah.
wouldn't
Type.
be you.
Oh.
One of the two that
Descriptor
you
type and then both sides. It's right
There it
underneath
is.
your name.
One of you was harmed by an outcast, and this event convinced me to leave the church and hunt down other outcasts.
What is yours?
You're pretty doomed. It's probably
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
be you.
doomed. Yeah, pick 2 PCs.
Oh yeah.
When you miss with a gun, and the GM rolls that you struck someone other than your target, you hit one of these 2 characters.
Yeah.
I love that one.
What's your Tiffany?
I pick a PC, and this character has been my adventuring partner in previous expeditions. And when we work together, we gain a +1 to any die roll when we collaborate on the same task, fight the same foe, and so on.
Very
Look
good.
at that.
That's a good one.
That is a really
Yep.
good one.
Mine
I
is
get a good one.
pick a PC who recently lost a friend or loved one. He would like you to contact person in the afterlife, and you don't know why. You've not had the heart to tell him your ability doesn't work that way.
Nice.
What's yours again?
I picked someone who's been attacked by an outcast, and that convinced me to leave the church.
So you're going with him.
Your bond is Leo.
Yeah, one of the 2.
Okay.
Yeah, Leo.
You have to pick 2 people.
I have to pick 2 people. Who am I gonna shoot?
I feel like I would pick Jared, but whenever we play these games, you don't like working with me.
No, I don't like working.
Well, he's also probably going to be shooting things instead of getting up next to him with you.
Yeah.
We can pick each other, Tiffany.
We can be friends.
It's gonna get in my way. Well, would I know that he's tracking down the outcast that killed my dear one?
I mean, that's kind of up to you guys. His, like, for example, hers says that, you know, there's one of the party members that wants them to contact a loved one that they recently lost. But she doesn't have the
Okay,
heart
gotcha.
to tell them
Okay.
that her powers doesn't work that way. But as far as her knowing which one it is, obviously she would.
Yeah. Okay.
So, you know,
But
and
someone
obviously
would
that
say
person
yours
would know
against
they'd
that
ask
You would
you
have
do
to,
that.
because
Yeah.
whoever was once with me, so we used to either adventure or hang out or something like that,
Okay.
and outcast attacked you.
Okay, not gonna stand. Then I'd probably choose these 2 for mine. I would make sure I'm.
That's sexist.
Women, they get in the way.
Wow, not
Right,
the
marry
thing
that.
you're supposed to say.
What time was that meeting tomorrow?
Might be
This is
never
going to
now.
be good, isn't
Shows
it?
up by herself, like, I'm a model now.
I need to write
Except
down
for
his
me.
name, so.
It got caught off last night.
Your character has someone that died, like, recently?
No, you have to pick somebody who.
No, I meant, did you say that?
No.
Okay. Do you have someone that died?
Did you put
recently?
speaker? Because that's what I am as a speaker.
Well, you can pick whoever you want the bond to be with, and their character now has a loved one that died recently.
So I just kill off
Yeah, you
God,
just kill
kill
off
a family member.
You kill off one of their family members or a friend of theirs.
Yeah. Sorry, Tiffany, I gotta kill a friend.
Darn.
What's your character's name, Tila?
Alexandra.
With
Okay.
Tila since I apparently
and-
I've been in contact with her.
Yeah. And what's your bond?
When we work together.
Oh, okay,
with
that's the one where. Okay.
Yeah.
What's yours? What's your character's name, Seth?
Fletcher.
Fletch.
Fletcher Phillips.
What's for mine?
My father is sending me quotes from Silver
Yeah.
Bullet.
Okay, so basically, here let me kind of sum up which Tiffany I know you know, but this is how this adventure module is intended to go. And
Well done.
I think this group's going to do really well with it. I'm more concerned about my group tomorrow. I shouldn't have said that.
Ooh, tell him.
It's
on
recording.
It is recording. I said that. And hopefully they're not watching it because, spoiler alert, if you're playing tomorrow, turn it off. As you go through the adventure and as you explore new areas, make new discoveries, do certain things, it will unlock handouts that I'll hand out to the various characters. Okay? When you get a handout, read it. Sometimes it might have parts that your character is going to say out loud, but most of the time, most of them are basically describing something that your character sees, feels, smells, experiences, whatever. So kind of read it and then react to it as your character would react. And the reason that I bring that up is it seems kind of like a no-brainer, but it's actually important that you role play that, because otherwise if I give you the note and you just read it and go, okay, and set it down, the rest of the players have no concept of what just happened. So you do kind of need to, if you hear a noise, then express that. Like, did y'all hear that? What was that? And because they didn't. So, and that's kind of how it's intended to go.
What if we actually start hearing things?
That could be really scary.
Make it more fun.
Please let us know if you start doing that.
Additional background, all of your characters know each other. You kind of more or less grew up together. And in young adulthood, you kind of had a few adventures, hence some of the injured by an outcast and stuff like that, and kind of have an idea for each other's powers. In more recent years, you've kind of all gone your own way with various enterprises. And that's basically where the adventure is going to pick up. I'll start with the description. You'll kind of have an idea.
Quick question. So, what's the world of? Is it in what kind of world?
You are actually going to be in England.
Okay.
You're going to be in England.
Wow.
I'm not going to attempt a British accent because I suck at accents.
How you doing there, governor?
But you're going to be in England,
Okay.
and you're going to actually start off basically approaching the end of a train ride, heading to a community known as Hedgeburg.
Okay.
What kind of time period is it?
Late
Henry.
19th century
Henry.
to early 20th century, basically kind of that toward the end of the Victorian approaching modern era. And my concept for it is a little touch of feel of steampunk, because y'all have got some items that can kind of really do some weird stuff, but not really full-blown steampunk.
Cool.
Alright. Everybody in Hedgerow knows that the old DeMay orphanage is haunted, but that didn't stop the Percival family from moving to town and buying the place. The Percivals, mutual friends of yours, purchased the old DeMay orphanage manor house a few months ago and have been kept busy fixing the place up. You have each received a letter announcing that the repairs are complete enough for a housewarming and have been invited to celebrate the occasion with Tiberius, Talia, and Sable, their daughter. You are pleased to discover that your old mutual friends to the Percivals have been able to attend as well, and you have been renewing old friendships on the train while traveling to Hedgeburn. And this would be an opportunity for everybody to kind of let everyone know your character's name, what you do, and stuff like that.
Should I talk in a deep voice since I'm a man? I'm a man.
You're a scholar.
That's very sexy.
Jeez, I just can't play with Tiffany.
Too insensitive. Did we put a trigger warning on this?
Well, so would this be like in-character introductions, or because we all know each other, so would it make sense for us to?
Well, I mean, mainly just so that yes, it can be in character.
Okay.
You can certainly do it that way, but mainly so that the other players at the table know what your character's capable of.
I don't know what I'm capable of.
Do you know what you're capable of, Jared? I'm
Let's
pretty
go.
sure you shoot things,
Yeah, I shoot things. I can.
and you're doomed.
I'm
Yeah, I'll
doomed.
let you read the doomed. I had it pulled up somewhere.
Oh, they have.
Doom's fun.
Descriptions
I'm
for
going to
the
get to save some of these
descriptors.
experience cards that I've got.
Doomed.
I'm seriously wondering if there's a smudge on my glasses or if
Quite
one of my
certain that
eyeballs
these
isn't
are
working
the-
properly. Like, nah, it's just my eyeball.
It's just my
It's just my eyeball.
Don't worry.
Okay, everything's good. It's my eyeball.
Yeah.
It's not my glasses.
It's only something permanent.
That
Alright.
helps. I'm glad you showed me this.
You keep blinking and it's like
Do what I
fuzzy.
I'm a man of the church after all. Helping people is my business. Unless that business is outcasts, and then I just kill them.
What is an outcast to you?
That's a good question.
And I was like, do we all do magic and stuff? Like, what is?
An outcast is anything that's supernatural.
Okay.
Now, that's not necessarily the definition that's in the rule book is a little bit more general because it's not genre specific.
Yeah, I was gonna
So,
say
like-
the outcast, the hunt's outcast is like basically anybody that does weird things.
Right.
Is considered an outcast.
Right.
So
So someone that talks to dead people.
Since I'm running this game kind of as a Victorian, I hate to call this this module horror because it's not really horror. It's just kind of more. It's a haunting and it's kind of a little creepy,
spoopy.
but it's not really. It's not going to scare you. Okay.
Nope, not sleeping tonight.
But since I'm running it as that type of style, Victorian horror type motif, then I'm kind of going with the outcast being supernatural stuff. So you know, just think the series Supernatural and you got it.
No, that's scary.
Let's just go with Penny Dreadful.
Yo, I love Penny Dreadful.
I have like half of the last season to watch, so I'm like getting there.
I stopped early second season. I've got to start watching it again, but I haven't had time lately.
It's so good.
I should have practiced my Irish accent.
Um,
didn't I?
The train reaches Hedgeburg, and
We all sat quietly in our classes.
so I'll move forward.
Sorry. You just have to find out what we do.
You disembark. You do need to get directions to and transportation to the Domain Manor, and have a little bit of time to basically either gather some information or whatever, or just get a way to head to the manor if you want to go straight there. It's up to you.
When we sat quietly, did we know we were all headed to the orphanage together?
Well, I guess that depends on how long on the train ride you actually sat quietly. Not
I was getting together my thoughts, but now we're departing.
It's fine. You can go ahead.
All right. Well, so while I'm sitting in my seat, you know, I'll look around and then I'll see this familiar face.
Whatever I look like.
Yeah, and
Amoeba.
I'll walk up to my old compatriot
Grayer and blobbier than you are.
Fletcher. Well, you look like you're doing well for this somber day ahead of us.
I'd say the same for you.
Yeah.
Haven't seen you since you got your ass handed to you all those years ago.
Trust me, there's been a couple more times since then too. It doesn't seem like I'm getting any breaks.
I love it.
I thought the army would help me in this predicament. You know, I trained and you know I was a soldier.
You should always look to the church.
And then I have this wimpy minister here saving my life. But I'm very appreciative. You know, I wasn't meant as insulting. But where are you headed today?
Some manor, what's it called? Daunting?
Domain?
Dude.
It's
Du
been
Haas.
formerly known as the DeMay
Domain.
Orphanage,
And we got a letter from
but you got a letter
our
from your
friends.
friends, the Percivals,
Percival's.
Talia, Tiberius, and their daughter Sable. Well, Sable didn't write the letter. But the letter was actually from the wife, Talia.
How you know you're going somewhere creepy? Someone's named Tiberius.
Tiberius. Dollar's name is Sable. You know she's gonna die.
Well,
Probably.
that was actually in honor of a dead dragonborn.
Yeah, the Percivals, I hear they're doing okay for themselves, or as well as anyone can do for themselves on this forsaken earth. But
They definitely need the church.
the church can't save anyone. They can't save me.
If you talk to the right priest, it will. But I'm heading to the Percivals as well.
I'm tired of him playing these characters.
Already, right?
We have a character just like this in another game, and I'm like,
They play with Ren,
Share a star, yeah.
and the other one's not.
He
like
gets
that.
in the car and he's super pious, going home like.
Figures he's probably already annoyed you enough for the night.
I hate your face. Stop it.
And so we all know each other, right? So I would know the weird talking to dead girl over there, and
Yeah.
and
Henry!
the super naive Henry.
All I can think about is Henry from Once Upon
Yeah.
a Time.
Are you renaming the character? Are you?
It doesn't have to be Henry. It could be Henri.
Okay.
You could be French. We forget.
I think I'll stick with Henry.
Nope, you're forever hungry.
Henri.
That's funny.
Damn, you want to switch characters?
What's her name? Alexandria?
Alexandra.
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 Oh, I
Have
really
you
did.
contacted my dear Aunt Sal yet?
What are we, PEMDAS?
No, I'm
Serious.
I'm getting around to it. It's really hard. I don't have the right candles. I'll keep working on it.
Okay. She's gonna talk to my aunt. Isn't it so exciting? We're going to a haunted orphanage.
How can you get excited about that?
There's so many things to discover.
Yeah, like your death.
We're not gonna die.
Don't sit too close
It's
to me.
not
on this train.
really haunted.
It's not really haunted, but you think Alexandra can talk to your dead Aunt Sal?
Of course.
Only freaks can talk to dead people.
That's really mean.
You know it's true, though.
No, it's not how it works.
Are you gonna talk to
You
me?
should go to the church before you die.
I'm not dying. Who's dying?
How much did you pay Alexandra to talk to your dead relative?
None yet.
None yet? Oh, okay.
Do people normally take payment for this sort of thing? I mean, I could make a living doing that.
Well, they get payment for it, alright.
What do you do for a living
Yeah,
now?
yes.
You are receiving payment.
I do odd jobs.
Odd jobs.
Yeah. I
Well,
sell
I'd say
candles.
So candles.
Very odd.
I just try to make it day to day.
Very depressing. You weren't like this as a kid.
The war changes you. I've seen things.
I've seen things too. I saw
Things
this little
that
bunny the
aren't
other
in your-
day. He was just like hopping along.
Is that part of your studies? Are you an entomologist now?
I don't know about the word.
Entomology.
You know what is a word?
Entomologist.
I'm a trainomologist on this train.
Okay, so you arrive at Gettysburg. We're gonna move on with the entomologist.
Biology.
All right, so each of you give me an intellect check.
Wait, just roll.
I should not
Pretty much.
starting it off great unless
Oh my
you want to apply
goodness.
effort to it.
This is my entomologist role right here.
Is this an entomology check? Pretty sure I'm trained in that.
I got 11.
2.
Oh, that's almost a 1.
That would have been great.
Yeah.
6.
17.
17. Okay, as you're looking at trying to find transportation, you do end up basically finding a horse and carriage, and a guy agrees to take you out to the DeMay Manor. But in the process,
Is it like a long way away from the train?
I mean, it's a few miles outside of town,
Okay.
but I mean, it's not a long way.
I wasn't sure if it was in town or if it was outside town. Gotcha.
The train comes into town,
Mm-hmm.
and the DeMay Manor is outside of town, but just a few miles out. You hear rumor as y'all are talking and everything, and you're talking about going to the DeMay Manor, and a person asks you if you're going out there to find the fortune. Because it turns out old Granny DeMay was very wealthy and had her fortune hidden somewhere at the house.
No, we're just going to see friends.
The new family that moved out there. I'd forgotten about them.
Did everybody hear this, or?
She heard that.
Okay.
You hear that you hear a tale about 5 individuals that went to visit the house. Was it 5 individuals? Several individuals that went to the house 5 years ago. There's a group of young people who claimed to be adventurers, and they heard tales about the haunting and decided that they were going to spend the night out at the manor. And this old person kind of laughs and chuckles a little bit, and it must have scared the wits out of them because they bolted out in the middle of the night and nobody ever saw them again.
They're like, we're talking about that now, or like I heard this and now I have to tell them. And it was a conversation like that we could all hear.
It's a conversation that you ended up getting into with an older person of the town while these two were making arrangements to get the carriage.
Yeah, we were getting the carriage.
Yeah.
It's not that we didn't hear anything.
Right.
We were just getting the carriage.
Divide and conquer.
Right.
Well,
So it's entirely up to the two of you whether or not you share that information with the two of them and with each other.
I tell her.
I'll tell her too.
Okay.
I would tell you anything.
See if you can ride
Because
a
you're
horse.
mean and you're depressing.
Why are we even living?
I don't think you're quite that doomed.
I'm not that
But maybe you are.
Too dark. Reel it in.
All right. While the carriage is prepared and the guy makes arrangements to drive the carriage out to carry you out to the DeMay place, you have a little bit of time to catch some quick refreshments. And after about an hour or so, he's ready, loads your luggage up, you get in the carriage, and he drives you down the trail through the forest. As you're driving along, it's starting to get late afternoon, and you come through a small patch in the forest where it kind of narrows in on the to call it a road's a little bit generous, but it's a little bit more than a trail. It's basically a wagon road, and it kind of comes in a little bit closer to the trail, and you can see a horseman comes riding up out of the forest. He sees your carriage and begins to turn and makes his way toward you as you're continuing to ride toward him. As you approach, he waves as if motioning for you to stop. Your driver looks to you. Should I stop?
Sure.
And so he
The
pulls.
man wants to stop.
Yeah, he pulls up the reins. You can see as your driver pulls the coach to a stop and the rider gets a little bit closer that it's a man approaching middle age. He's weathered. He's obviously been out in the sun a good bit during his life, and his face is full of concern and perhaps even a little bit of fear. Looks to be basically a simple farmer, and he begins speaking with hesitation. Greetings, lady, sirs.
Stay at your business.
I beg your pardon for stalling your business, but I would beg your assistance if you don't mind. You see, my sons have gone missing. I'm sure that being boys, they're just off adventuring in the forest, and I wouldn't normally worry, except, well, the wolves have been bad this year. So if you happen to see 3 lads, their names are Otis, Abel, and Edgar, please send them home right away.
How long have they been missing for?
Just the afternoon. They skipped out on their chores.
Have you been riding
Boys will be boys.
Have you been riding the forest to find them?
Riding their typical areas where they play and have their, as they call it, adventures.
I'm sure they'll find, but if we see them, we'll turn them.
I'm sure, but a parent worries.
When you find them, send them to church straight away.
Of course. Anyway, pardon interrupting you. And he's obviously deferring to your apparent better socioeconomic positioning. That he knows that he is not of the level that you all are, and you're merely stopping and letting him talk to you is quite a compliment to him, and doesn't want to take any more of your time. He kind of bows his head and rides around the carriage and goes on off searching for the lads.
Commoners.
They're probably stranded in the forest. Won't make it through the night.
You arrive at the Domain Manor a short time later.
I'm sure it's very quiet after that.
Leo's still grumbling about how doomed the entire world is.
You should try talking to them, Alexandra.
The building is a large wooden structure, which has obviously seen years of neglect. However, some recent repair work is obvious. But it's not as much as you would have expected to have seen completed, especially considering the letter that you received. There's a wagon parked out front which contains several crates and building supplies. The gateway to the courtyard doesn't appear to be functional and sits open. The courtyard itself remains overgrown with underbrush and small trees. As you leave the carriage and gather your luggage, you suddenly hear a howl as 6 wolves leap from the underbrush and attack. These wolves are larger than any you've ever seen, and a trick of the setting sun makes their eyes appear to glow red. Roll initiative.
That's terrible dice.
What'd you get?
12.
Nice. 5. Nice. What'd you get?
13.
Nice.
What'd you get?
My roll would be good, but I had an inability in initiative, so I had a 15.
Tiffany.
That's all right. It's pretty sad.
Alright, who got above 9?
I did.
I'm not naughty.
Did you just say that randomly?
13.
Okay, and
Wherever.
your character is
Alexandra.
Wolves pop out. And she just screams, I'm not naughty. I had a 15 with an inability.
Henry.
So 12.
This is not a time to talk about your fetishes.
And you are
Fletcher Phillips.
Fletcher. And what did Leo get?
5.
Awesome.
We just roll the die, right?
Yep.
Cool. 12.
12. And you are playing as Henry?
I am.
Alright, Alexandra. You get to go first.
What can I do?
What can you do? Distortion.
What does distortion do?
Look on your 3rd page.
My help. Nope, has to be a willing creature.
Did we get off the
Um,
Yeah, he said we were getting our luggage and the wolves popped out.
do mental onslaught
Okay.
on the closest one to me, and I want to use an extra effort.
And actually, I'm going to retcon because I forgot I had adjusted this for 6 players. There are 4 wolves, not 6.
And I rolled a 1.
Nice.
Oh,
Now there are 6 wolves.
Nice.
And then they go back to
You see 2 wolves pop out of the forest with boys in their mouths.
Okay, so here's where the fun occurs. Part of the rule system is that the game master can, at his whim, throw in what's called a GM intrusion. I can make something happen just to kind of make things interesting in the game. Typically, when I do that, I give the player that it's directly affecting 2 experience points. They get to keep 1, and they pass 1 to another player. However, if you roll a natural 1, I get a free GM intrusion, which means I get to do a GM intrusion, and there's no experience award. Okay?
That's nice.
Thank Alexandra, because Alexandra just rolled a natural 1.
You're welcome.
So
That's what I expected.
she seems to focus her mind and attempts to do something. And what's the effect of your onslaught?
It
On the
just.
3rd page again. Keep that
I
separate.
was like, I want to say it's 2 damage.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, attack foe within short range using energy and I used it to attack a mine.
The mind.
If the target
It's 2
focus mental energy and is 2 damage. Ignores armor.
Or 2 mental.
And you focused on mental, so it'd be intellect damage.
Yes.
Okay, so as she focuses and she's getting ready to do something to this wolf, the wolf actually bumps her, and it kind of distracts her. And Leo, you feel a force of her will slam into your psyche, and you take 2 intellect damage. And that brings up Fletcher.
All right. I am.
You need to buy me dinner first, Alexandra.
I will also apologize to you guys if this thing goes like totally haywire, because you're my playtest.
Nice. We're all right with it.
Guinea pigs.
So Fletcher is gonna drop his luggage and pull out his handy dandy Bible and start reading from it different passages and stuff like that. And you all feel that it is now easier to attack things,
Nicely done.
and that is what I am doing.
And that will bring up Henry.
I'm gonna take my cane and hit a wolf.
Alright. Make a roll to hit.
Okay. 5.
5. He made them easier to hit. Oh, that just misses. Are you next to her?
I don't know.
Do you move next to her to attack the wolf?
Say yes.
Yes.
Okay, so what's your bond?
Oh, so that'd be a 6.
Which will hit.
Okay. I see how this is working.
Trying to help you figure it out. Okay, so that you know, because with the 2 new players also, if you notice when you rolled initiative, I asked who got higher than 9.
Yeah.
Okay, if you divide 9 by 3, you've got what?
3.
3. So the wolves are level 3, which means you need a 9 or better
Oh,
to hit them.
Gotcha.
But his ability just made attacking the wolves 1 level easier.
Cool.
So you need a 6.
Cool. So this does 4 damage. Does it just?
Okay, so 4 damage. Alright, wolf 1. Okay, and that brings up the wolves. I need each of you to make a speed defense roll. That's where we talked about the training comes in.
So, since I'm trained, I'll only need a 6?
Except he's made all tasks with the...
Well, yeah, that's with...
That's just for attack.
Oh, that's for attacks. Okay.
Okay.
Alright,
Okay.
so yes, you would need a 6.
Okay.
Ooh, I got a natural 20.
I got an 18.
12.
Okay. And you got a natural 20?
I did.
Alright, so what major effect do you want?
I am going to say that he is disrupted by the power of my faith, and he can't use any special abilities for a couple of rounds.
Okay.
He's just overwhelmed.
That's actually very good. And that will bring up Leo.
After hearing some inspiring words from Fletcher, but believing none of them, I'm still gonna pull out my revolver. Yeah, this has happened to Leo frequently, and he knows what to do. He just pulls the trigger back. And
Okay. Are you shooting it at the wolf that's already been smacked, or are you shooting
I'm
at
shooting the one that attacked me.
that attacked you?
Yeah.
So close.
I missed.
Scratch one bullet off from your ammo.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
That brings us back to the top with Alexandra.
Wait, let me see.
Alexandra. I'm just going to focus and
As he fires low and hits the ground in front of the wolf that's on
Because you
last.
didn't take time to actually look. Here's the
No.
map.
I'm gonna
Tried to cowboy
on
it.
spot
I try to
again.
look cool.
15.
15 most assuredly hits.
Dang, you're super speedy.
With the
Sorry,
5
I
initiative.
was talking to him.
Yeah, I was like, what?
No, he's trained without armor and he's trained in speed defense.
So what's your damage?
2 damage mentally.
Okay, so
Nice.
that pen is dry. And that will bring up Fletcher again.
All right.
Yes, this time you focus and the wolf kind of, there's a little bit of a whine, but he's still kind of trying to stay there and get a chance to bite you.
If you roll 17 to 20, is your damage increased?
Yes, 17 you do an extra point of damage.
Mm-hmm.
18 you do an extra 2. A 19 you get a minor effect or 3 extra damage. And a 20 you get either 4 extra damage or a major effect.
Are those in here?
Yes.
Um,
And some builds have other minor and major effects that they
yeah,
can
the
use.
second page had mine. I'm going to see all of the wolves attacking everybody, and I'm going to quickly switch pages from talking about the wrath of God and start preaching on faith is my armor, and everybody is trained in defense tasks
Yeah.
for this turn.
So you kind of feel like the wolves might be a little bit easier to dodge because you're inspired. And that will bring up Henry.
Gotta have faith though, Leo.
I'm gonna hit this wolf again. Keep kind of on my cane. 17.
17. And that can do bonus damage. You do an extra point of damage.
Okay, so that's 5 then.
You're still fighting with her though, right?
Yeah.
So it's actually an 18, right? So
Yeah.
you do 2 extra damage.
So 6.
So you come down on this wolf with the silvered head of your cane, and you just split his skull open, and he collapses to the ground.
Henry is a BA.
Leo, I should go into the army.
Yeah.
Okay, so you killed the wolf that was attacking her, so I just need the 3 of you to make a defense roll. Speed defense. And it's 1 level easier.
Just barely.
I would have failed.
14.
Wait, me or her?
You killed mine. I was
You
just
killed her.
Oh,
curious.
12.
It's a good thing you killed
What'd
her
you
too.
14.
14.
Because I rolled a 2.
I failed.
Here to help.
By the 1.
Alright, so you two kind of dodge kind of easily out of the way and kind of reposition to attack the ones that are on you. You see Henry, he attempts to dodge, but the wolf kind of stretches its neck around and snaps at just the right moment and bites down on him for 2 damage.
On
Where's
Henry or
this going?
I
Fletcher?
mean, I'm sorry, on Fletcher.
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 Oh, I was like, that's a really high roll.
To how much to what now?
2 damage.
To
It
Mike.
would go to Mike.
What?
That will bring up Leo.
Dancing with this wolf, I'll try to shoot him again. No.
We're killing those 5, aren't we?
He's also killing the Zammo.
Yeah, 2 5s. No, 3 5s.
So, just so you know, your revolver is a 6-shot.
Okay.
So once you fire 6 shots, you will have to spend an action to reload.
Okay.
And that will bring up Alexandra.
I need to get a cane.
I'm gonna use force damage.
And if she's fighting the same one, you also get the +1.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
17.
Now there you go. Is that with the +1?
18.
Alright, so you get +2 damage.
So 6 damage total.
Yes, because I use 4 damage for force.
Okay, so 6 damage. Alright, got it. Yeah, you blast this wolf and it knocks him off of his feet, and he starts trying to get back up onto his feet to attack. That will bring up Fletcher.
Alright, this one is in my face. So.
Yeah, trying to get to your neck, because he just narrowly missed it.
I wonder
just
why
a moment
Leo
ago.
feels like he's doomed.
I'm going to I have a Bible in one hand and a crucifix in the other, and I'm going to take the crucifix and put it in his face and start mumbling really, really fast under my breath, and the creature
Oh, he's going into trance, guys.
becomes enthralled
Wizard's Tree?
by me,
Wizard's Stick?
even if it can't understand me,
Usador.
and it can't take any actions other than to defend itself.
Okay.
It's just frozen, staring into me, into my eyes.
So is that an attack, or?
That is just an ability. I don't know. It just says enthrall.
Enthrall. Yeah, he may be right.
I mean, I have the page.
Yeah, just pass that over to him. Okay. You're probably right. 1. Oh, as long as you keep talking. Yeah, okay, that's cool.
We're both kind of frozen in place.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Okay, so Fletcher's over there just talking to his wolf, and it kind of settles down. It's just kind of sitting there. And Henry, that brings you up.
I'm gonna finish off this wolf that she knocked back.
Okay.
It's 14.
14 hits.
It'll be 4 damage.
All right, yep, you finish that wolf off. You come up on this one and just catch him up in the throat, and the not sharp, but the kind of pointed part of the cane handle catches just right and just rips through and collapses down.
We're the awesome team.
And so I need well, not from you, because you got yours enthralled. He's
Right.
just kind of looking at you.
I made it. I just can't shoot.
You're able to tell while you're doing that the eyes are definitely glowing red.
Ooh, okay, gotcha.
That brings up Leo.
So with my character, can I use the revolver as like a melee weapon?
Sure.
Okay.
Just don't roll one.
I'm gonna try to pistol
Gonna try to
whip
pistol
this.
whip him?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to pistol whip this wolf. He's making me upset. Wasting my ammo on this guy.
Natural 20.
There we go. That's a 15.
15 hits.
Okay. Would that be considered a light or a medium?
It'd be a light,
Okay.
and that which does make it one level easier to hit with.
Yeah.
Also, though.
So that'd be 2 damage.
So 2 damage. All right. That will bring up Alexandra.
What's happening?
You're up. It's your turn.
How many more wolves are there?
There's one on him and one that's just kind of sitting, kind of standing
Staring
there,
at me.
staring at him, and he's talking to it. You can't understand what he's saying, but he's talking to it.
Alexandra's talisman glows, and her whole personality kind of seems to change. And she seems like a lot more confident, and she turns around to the one that's on you and does like this. And I try
And
to
dances
do.
with it.
I do. Try to do force damage. Will you stop messing with me every
That's
time?
what you get.
It's a 1.
Always do this to me.
I try to force damage it instead of
By
like.
the way, this game, you will never roll a 1 more times
When you play this game.
I feel like 5 is just my good.
6 more wolves pop out of nowhere. I just love Wes's and I eat the shatter one.
You go to the blast, and the wolf kind of jumps, and where your impact would have hit the wolf, you can see like dust and everything fly up from the ground. And it must be a trick from the echo of that, but you almost swear you hear children laughing inside the house. Not child, because your friends have a child. You hear a lot of children. And that will bring up Fletcher.
Alright, so I have him enthralled, and I can tell that his eyes are red. and I'm not okay with this, so I'm just going to take the crucifix, and I'm going to just bash him on the head with it.
May the power of Christ compel you.
Right? Yep, that's what I'm going to do. Wait, light weapons are easier to hit with, right?
That's correct.
Ooh, so right on the money. So it's 2 damage unless these things are actually supernatural.
They actually are.
Then it is 5 damage.
Again.
Alright. Hunt them outcasts.
And that will bring up Henry.
I'm gonna just slowly like walk up to him, like twirling my cane and just calm down.
Nice. Yeah. You know what? That gets that.
Ooh.
Jelly.
I'm a bean.
Well, what did I use this for?
There are a lot of things you can use it for. Of course, you can advance your character, which you can even do mid-adventure. That takes 4 experience points. But you also can use an experience point to re-roll a die roll. And you can keep re-rolling a die for as long as you have experience.
Okay.
I've just never heard it put that way before.
Oh no!
Roll the 5.
5s are just everywhere.
I see you trying. You thought.
Alright, that brings up the wolves. Both of these 2 are injured, and the other 2, including the leader of the pack, is down. You quit doing your
Yes.
talking.
Yes.
So
I smacked it squarely across the forehead.
You smacked it very squarely. These 2 wolves break and run for the forest.
See, I scared him.
You scared me too. I thought you were gonna hit my foot. Well, the farmer, had some credibility when he said the wolves were bad this year.
Those weren't regular wolves.
They weren't?
Demons.
They were demons.
My mom tells me demons don't exist.
You still?
Has your mother ever been to church?
The
No,
carriage
I don't
driver
believe
kind of
my
looks
mom.
around. He appears a little nervous. Well, it'll be getting dark. I'll help you get the rest of your luggage, and I'm going to head back to town. And get the rest of your luggage off the carriage, and
Am I the only
he
one
hops
that
back
heard
out
children?
and takes off.
Safe travels.
Not even a goodbye. Just
I didn't hear children.
I heard children.
I heard a voice.
You know the Parsons have children.
No, this was a lot of children.
A lot of children?
A lot of children.
Maybe they were invited to the housewarming party.
We got letters. Other people may have too.
You said you heard a voice?
Yeah.
Like,
It said, I think I heard a voice, but that's crazy because spirits don't exist. But it said naughty children. Maybe it's from the house.
it wasn't one of our voices.
Well, obviously not.
Aren't you supposed to be learned on this stuff? Scholar.
I am. And I'm gonna walk into the house.
Okay. As you walk up to the door, it's actually partially ajar.
That means it's open.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, the door's not ajar. It's partially.
There's so annoying.
It's partially ajar. Half of it's ajar, the other half is a door.
What is this place?
What are Percival? What are they?
Percival's.
At least it's not
Percival.
jammed.
I'll like just open the door and be like, "We're here."
Okay. Swings open. You can see the entry hall is relatively clean and clear, but it still needs a great deal of repair work. In addition to the exit to the south, which is where you are, wooden doors lead to the north, east, and west, and there's a staircase that leads up to the second floor. While it's obvious that much of the debris has been cleaned away, the area is still in disrepair.
I thought they were supposed to fix this.
Looks like they've been working on it. I guess.
Are you the only one that's up at the door, or has...
Oh, I'm up
Nah,
there
yeah, I would have walked up to the
too.
door.
I'm up there too.
My little bag.
I'm in the very back. I haven't got in yet.
So, if Henry's just gonna stand there, I'm gonna kind of push him out of the way and walk in.
I'm gonna like be looking up at the windows like before I go in the house to see if I see children.
Okay. Give me an intellect roll.
20.
Okay. You do not see anything up at the top of the house, but as you raise your gaze up, you think you might possibly see something inside. Right inside the doorway.
The doorway that we're all standing in?
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Yeah. Who is standing closest to the west of the door?
We were in the south, so the west would be the furthest to the left.
To the left.
Probably one of those.
Well, if you just shove past, then...
Yeah.
Then-
probably
Yeah,
him.
it'd probably be you.
So I just like kind of grab you like really quickly and like, did you see that? Like over you?
Why'd you grab me? See what?
Yeah, I don't see anything like after.
No.
Okay. Never mind. Sorry. And I just like walk away.
That's-
She sees dead people. It's okay.
Well, she claims.
Was it my aunt? No, it was a small pale child, and I'm gonna kind of just like.
What's going on about children?
And it's gone now. It's okay.
Are you pregnant?
No. Why?
No, you're just talking about children
rude.
a lot.
Okay.
You can't say people look fat.
I didn't think she looked fat.
Every time in a woman's
mean-
life, this time comes.
Even
I want
if she
children.
looks a little pudgy today, you just can't say
I
that.
like bread. Okay. Like it's not a crime to like bread.
You really are doing.
I'm gonna continue walking in after being rattled.
Okay.
Base.
So basically, you have a choice. There's a doorway that's ahead of you, a doorway to the left, which is the closest door, a doorway to the right, and there's stairs that lead up.
Okay, so I'll say Tiberius. What was Taliac? No, is that her name?
Talia?
Talia. You know, we're here. Do I hear anything?
Give me an intellect roll.
Is it 5?
It's another 5. I rolled 5s on 4 different d20s.
We'll quit rolling different d20s.
Alright.
They're all trying to get their 5s out. You do not hear anything.
Maybe they went in town for a minute.
Like, did we see any vehicles or I guess
Vehicles.
carriages in the front? Anything
No,
that
you did not.
Did the letter have a specific time we were supposed to be here, or just day?
You were supposed to arrive today, and basically the plan was, enjoy dinner and then stay with them just a few days. And
I'm gonna. Do we know, like. I guess we wouldn't know where stuff is. Like,
not really. You've never been to this house.
Well, I'm about to figure out.
Maybe we should
Might
go
go somewhere.
to the kitchen. Maybe they're cooking.
I could use a snack.
Yeah, we can go to the kitchen.
We're gonna try to find our way to the kitchen.
Okay.
I wonder if they have any lettuce.
Which door do you want to take?
Is there a door on the right?
One, we can only hope.
There's a door to the left. There's a door to the right. There's a door dead ahead, and stairways leading up.
Let's go to the left.
To the left.
Left hand roll.
Mm-hmm.
All right. As you enter this doorway, you enter what is obviously a kitchen. It is
Look at
cleaner
that.
than other parts of the house. It features a stove, an oven, a sink, cupboards, a knife rack, and a large table with a half-eaten apple on it. The once white flesh has turned a dark brown.
It would appear that
It is a fairly large kitchen, but having known the past history of the manor, with it being an orphanage, that kind of makes sense.
so the Percivals, do we know them as the responsible sort? Would they be ones to leave the door open and unlocked just for anyone to walk in, even though it's out of town? Would that be, alarming
Stuff.
in any nature?
I'm sorry. Repeat.
Would we think that the door being open would be reflective of the Percivals, added to?
I mean, it would be unusual. That there was the well, you asked about vehicles. There was the one wagon, but it was loaded with supplies for repairs. So you suppose that it could be possible that he might be unloading some stuff.
Yeah.
But then you hear a response when you call for them.
Fletcher's seems they're waiting on us. I'm gonna go through. So I assume there's a door or an oven or something into the actual kitchen.
Yeah, there's a stove and an oven.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go open the oven.
It is cold. It's not even lit.
Before he gets up there,
from the kitchen, there you can see another door to the north, and there's also a door that leads to a small pantry. Both of those doors are closed.
Love the smell of fresh bread. It's so good.
Apparently Alexandria does too. Did you smell the bread?
I don't understand. This oven's cold though. I'm gonna go through the other door, look for another oven.
Are you opening the door to the pantry area or the door that leads to the kitchen?
Wait, so the door we came out of or another door?
Okay, all right. You came in the door.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and beside the oven, there's a door that goes into a smaller area. It looks like it's probably a large pantry.
Right.
And then there's another door that's up to the north that leads out of the room.
Oh, I'll go in the pantry then.
Okay. As you approach.
Am I the only one that pictures our characters in our head, like in like a black room, and then things just like pop into you? Do I see like there it is?
Pass that to Seth. This is as you approach the
I
pantry.
start opening stuff. I want handouts.
I'm gonna turn around real fast and look.
Is your brother
You didn't hear that? Singing?
singing?
Yeah. Singing songs to the children. Good little children never grow up. Never heard that in my life.
No.
Nope.
Must be the Percivals. They're in here somewhere. I'm gonna go in the pantry.
Okay. You open the pantry door, and within the pantry you see, huddled in a corner, a slender woman with black hair, streaked with gray and green eyes. She huddles as far back into the corner as she can in the mostly bare pantry. When she sees you, she screams and buries her head in her hands. You barely recognize the woman in the pantry as your dear friend, Talia Percival. But she seems to have aged 10 to 15 years.
What the hell?
Like 10 to 15 years, like more than we expected since last.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Would the pantry door be wide enough for if we were looking? Would Fletcher be blocking the doorway? Would we be able to see?
You probably wouldn't see from where you are when he opens the doorway, but you definitely hear the scream.
Yeah.
What in the seven hills? Talia, what are you doing? I'm gonna run over there to her.
Okay. As you approach her, she it's like she's trying to crawl into the wall, and she's just trying and
She does
almost
crawl
getting
the
into
wall, I'm
a fetal position. She seems very hysterical. Like she doesn't seem to be making sense, not recognizing you.
Talia, it's me, Fletcher.
Give me an intellect check.
Stop it.
Did you get a 5?
I got a 5. Is this side of the table? Just over here.
The rest of you can hear. It definitely sounds like Talia's voice,
Mm-hmm.
and she's just calling over and over again. You know, don't hurt me. It's the children. Help the children. He's gone mad.
Where's Tiberius?
She just continues ranting and carrying on, not really seeming to grasp who you are. Doesn't even seem to realize necessarily where she is.
You know,
If he's gone mad, we need to find her kid.
you know, I've seen this before in the war.
Oh my gosh. I'm not
There's soldiers. Soldiers go insane.
Can I just grab her and start shaking her?
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna help.
Where are the
You're
children?
terrified. So let me shake you.
Shaking baby syndrome. Give me another intellect.
Tell me where they are.
You want to apply effort?
I'm going to apply effort to this one. It's a 9. It was almost
I
a
said it was a 5. I was like, what?
No, it's a 9 with a level of effort.
With a level of effort.
Yeah.
Okay. You begin to get her calmed down. And
Shaking always works.
you know, and I'm assuming you're not just shaking her, you're talking to her while you're kind
Where's
of.
the bread?
Mental
She still seems disoriented, but the process of you talking to her and kind of shaking her a little bit draws her attention to where she looks at you, and you kind of start to see like there might be some recognition starting to form in her eyes, but she still seems pretty delirious and or slightly hysterical at this point.
Oh my god, Jared, I hate you.
What's she say?
He goes, where's the bread?
I didn't even hear that.
I'm trying not to like look at him.
Oh Lord.
I wish I thought to bring a loaf of bread back here so everybody a slice of bread.
You get a slice of bread. You get a slice.
Important tip for tomorrow night: bring us a loaf of bread.
There you go.
Turn into the Rocky Horror Picture Show of D&D.
Mm-hmm.
Interactive everything.
The rest of you at this point can see that it's Talia. She's definitely slightly disoriented and hysterical. She
We
keeps-
heard her screaming about children. She said that.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's still talking about protecting the children, and he's mad. He's gone mad, but not really making a lot of sense otherwise.
So if we ask her like where her husband is, what does she say?
Well, he's got her focusing on him right now, but she's not really calmed down yet. So if you want to try to ask her something, give me an intellect check, trying to talk her down a little bit more.
Next step is slapping her, so.
An 18. So I just want to like reach over like while he's talking to her and just kind of like pet her head and be like, "Where's your husband, sweetie?"
Okay. She finally starts to kind of settle down, and she looks at you, and she's like, "You're here already? How long has it been?" You knew that it took you 5 days to travel here. So, and she's like, everything was fine when we moved in, and the house seemed normal. Then we started to notice strange sounds, and see these strange visions out of the corners of our eyes. And that's when Tiberius started growing angrier and angrier. And finally he went mad and attacked me. I hid here. He's never been violent before. She starts crying, and tears are streaming down her face. He's like, I ran from him and hid here in the pantry. I'm not sure what happened to Sable. I can only pray for such a sweet, innocent child.
We need to find Sable.
It's a good thing you do. Sounds like he's become a drunk.
Stress and pressure of moving into a new place.
Is that what the war does?
When you go to a new battlefield each day, it's hard to cope with the changes. It's hard to think you'll make it to the next day. We need to do this for Sable.
Very depressing. What time?
You see what this house
Like
has done
a
to this woman?
shell-shocked soldier.
I'm gonna leave and start looking for Sable.
Okay, which way do you want to go?
You guys should probably
The
stay
next
here with
door.
Talia. Henry and I, we'll find Sable.
You're making them miss all the fun.
Spooky house.
I just want to find the bread, man.
Okay. You were going where?
I was gonna help look for Sable. I thought that someone should stay with Talia, so if
Okay,
I'll
but
stay.
As Henry starts moving, is anybody going with Henry? I guess is the first question.
Yeah, I will.
Okay, so as the two of you start moving that way, she kind of sticks with you guys, kind of looking around nervously and looking over her shoulder, but you can tell that she obviously does not want to be alone.
So yeah, we'll all look for Sable then.
We won't leave you, child.
Okay. All right.
Here, read a passage from a book. It's a good book.
Alright, so as you open the door and you all enter the next room, it's obviously a dining room. There's a table set here with a wonderful dinner. Succulent smell of delicious food draws you to the table, and you suddenly realize how late it is and how hungry you actually are. I need an intellect defense roll.
So, okay.
Oh.
Is this defense against losing sanity?
Me too. We are just.
Oh shoot! I got a 6.
That's what I got too.
Got a 6.
You guys both got 6s? That's funny. We both got 20s.
Well then.
Okay, so y'all both got 6s? What'd y'all get?
20s.
Both of you got 20s. Nice. You were serious.
Yeah, this battle.
Yeah, we did.
Okay. You two are just overcome by your hunger, and this food looks so good. So you sit down and you start eating.
That's right.
Do I get to like ask if Talia was the one who prepared this, or do I just
You start stuffing your face.
Yeah, do I?
And you
You're from
each
the war, though.
get that.
You never know when your next meal is going to come from, no matter where it comes from.
Yeah, that's right.
You each get one of these and are horrified
Oh
as
no.
you see what these two are doing.
Oh.
I need for you to mark on your character sheet 1 horror point.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Is that
I
a
kinda
space or
remember
just
this.
make it?
Huh?
Is that a space or we just need to
I just create it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's something I did for this. And the threshold of terror elevates 1. So now GM intrusion happens on a 1 or a 2.
Oh boy.
Nasty.
Oh gosh, if we get up to a 5, we're screwed.
I know, right?
The food is marvelous, and you just can't stop. I mean, you're like, forget about social etiquette. It's like hands on the food and just digging in.
Can
what
I,
else
like-
would I drink
Okay.
from?
At what point can I throw up?
Now,
I'm gonna.
I need another intellect defense roll.
3.
12.
Pass this to Leo.
Can I slap the plate out of her hand?
As you suddenly realize what you are biting into. And you, sir, get 2 horror points.
And I'll get 3. What do horror points do?
That's yet to be seen.
Okay.
What in the 7 hells are you doing?
It looks.
Why aren't y'all eating?
I'm gonna slap it out of her hand.
What was that for?
Make another intellect test. They're talking to you and telling you about how disgusting it is, so you have a level of...
19.
Okay. And now you get this.
Awesome.
But you do get another horror point.
A minute ago, it looked like the finest foods. Great host of
Three
Yep.
horror.
Yep.
platters and
Now, for what your
entrees.
current horror points are, I need everybody to make an intellect defense roll. What your current point level is the level of the test.
Oh no.
Very nice.
I'm gonna keep it there, guys.
Very good.
Is this a sanity?
Yes, it actually is.
Okay, cool.
I got a 2.
Which is a GM intrusion!
Oh, and a failure.
Okay, you, after consuming this nasty meal, have a minor psychic break and develop an insanity.
Yes. What's my insanity? Do I know?
You get a quirk, and if you want to, I will let you come up with it.
Don't worry, babe. I love all your
Otherwise,
words.
I won't come up with it.
No, you can come up with it.
Okay.
Sure
Anytime
about that.
anytime someone mentions
No.
food or drink,
That's gonna be anytime someone says children. I was like, that's gonna be the rest of the night.
you become sickened, and any task for your next action is a level more difficult.
Can't talk
That's
about
not-
bread
not
anymore.
as bad as Randy.
Yeah, Randy's.
Yeah, that was awful.
Yeah.
Randy got one that he has an aversion to the
The
word
letter L.
starting with the letter L.
L.
Yeah, it's bad.
After being disgusted and trying to heave up whatever I just ate, I'll turn to Talia and, why is this food even on the table?
I don't know how it got there.
You didn't set this yourself?
No. Oh, and you rolled a 2, didn't you?
Those are she failed.
Boo!
You
Just getting the full effect of it.
Yeah, oh,
you hear a loud thump from upstairs.
Guys, this place really is haunted. And I'm gonna head up the stairs. Come on!
I'm still looking for me bread.
Alright, so you feel sick. Your next in your next attempt to make a test will be one level more difficult. There are 3 exits from this room, the one you just came in, and then there's another door that's close by that you can see leads back to the foyer where you were previously, and another one that's further down.
I'm gonna go to the one that leads to the foyer.
To
Because
the
that's
foyer.
where the stairs were, right?
Yep. There is bread on the table, but it's moldy.
Oh, yeah, must have been when I was smoking.
Yeah.
So they say if it rots long enough, it smells like what it originally, smelled like. I learned that in entomology class.
You learned about bread in entomology class?
Entomology class.
As you re-enter the entryway and the hallway, you are surrounded by the laughter of children. For a brief second, you think you see an elderly woman with a slight smile on her face. And then the image is gone.
Are y'all with me?
I hadn't made it through the door yet.
Yeah, you're hurrying off, and I'm still trying to.
He's still trying to purge his stomach.
And I'm
Yeah.
holding up Talia. I'm with Talia.
Maybe I went after you, but I'm probably at the bottom of the stairs.
Is Talia's mom in here?
Didn't Talia's
Dude.
mom die 5 years ago?
Did she? I am bad at note taking.
No, I just made that up.
Somebody died 5 years ago, didn't it?
It's. Did you two come when she mentioned that, or are y'all still in there?
I mean, we're making our way there.
Yeah.
Oh,
wait,
yeah.
down.
So these two are further in. Y'all are just kind of like entering the doorway
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
Okay. As you make your way around to the base of the stairs,
My character can communicate with like spirits too, or is it just dead?
just dead.
Just dead. Okay.
Hence why it doesn't work that way.
I'm just gonna kind of like be obviously like freaked out for a second, and like I'm looking at something, and then I'm gonna like kind of like hold my hand out towards like what I see.
Okay, so up to the top of the stairs.
Yeah. Because it's like right in front of me.
I think it's at the top of the stairs.
Yeah. Okay. So I just like I hold my hand out too.
Or are we going upstairs?
Y'all would be behind me. Like she went, and then I went, and then.
Are we
y'all
going
would be
upstairs? Is that where we're going?
Yeah.
Did y'all see
Upstairs?
the old lady? She was smiling at me.
behind. Do you see the child? And I'm just gonna like keep looking.
Maybe she is pregnant.
No, she just likes bread.
I think these two are gonna have fun with that. They's gonna make y'all get in. They're gonna be like bread.
Sure wish we had some bread. Be nice if we had some bread. Could use something to drink.
We have to go figure out what the thump was.
We need to find Sable.
Thumbs and old ladies and children. The hell's wrong with you? Eating moldy
I'm gonna
food.
keep looking at the top of the stairs, and I'm gonna say, "What's
You know
your
what?
name?"
You need the good book.
My name is
Continues to sit
Henry.
nice.
This is Leo.
No, you see her? Right there.
Do you see the old lady? She sees her because she's probably dead.
She's not old. She's maybe 5.
Well, no,
I think
I'll
you're
try
going
to.
crazy.
I don't see anything, Alexandra.
Right there. Like, are y'all behind me at this point?
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna like, right there.
I'm gonna look at Tally. So you said your husband got angry, huh? I can
Yes.
imagine why. Well, let's go. Start walking up the stairs.
Yeah, I'll follow.
As you begin to climb the stairs, she vanishes.
She was right here.
Don't mind me, ghost children, just coming up the stairs.
Ghosts aren't real.
Don't let me step on your toes.
Didn't you say you saw an old lady?
I think so.
Where?
She was right there.
She's not there right now.
She smiled at me.
Doesn't happen often for you, does it?
At the
I
top of
see you,
the
Henry.
At the top of the stairs is a wide landing with hallways leading in either direction. The further the hallway gets from the staircase, the thicker the dust and the cobwebs become. The door nearest is ornately carved with a floral motif. The upper hallway is plainer than the lower hallway.
Okay. I'm gonna like start like walking like I'm like looking at something. There she is. Wait. Oh no. And I just like freak out.
Pass that to Sal.
What
There,
happened?
who is?
She's the little girl. She's holding a knife with blood on it. No one sees her?
The little girl you said who was at the top of the staircase?
That's the same one right there. Can't you see her?
No one's worried about that. We need to go this way. You don't hear it? And I'm gonna take off towards the door to the north.
Okay.
Must be Sable.
I'm going to like take out, I guess I have a notebook or something since I'm a scholar and start like writing everything down and super excited and follow him.
I'm gonna keep looking behind me and make sure the little girl doesn't follow me, and I'm gonna like run off at them.
Okay.
I'll be in the back. I'll make sure Alexandra doesn't.
I hope you're with Tally, because I just left her.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you were rushing.
We all
Okay.
No, I just
No,
ran
okay.
off.
Okay, when you get to the door that's furthest to the north, it's closed.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Until I get there.
yeah, and seems stuck.
Oh.
Like a cartoon cutout.
Well, I wasn't gonna knock. I was just gonna literally just run like at the door and then just try to
I got
bust
you.
open the
Okay,
door.
just give me a mic check then.
Minister Might.
I'm so good at might with a 7. That scene from Clue. Tim Curry.
So he goes running at it, and Fletcher bounces off the door.
Did you not see that the door was closed, Fletcher?
They're very sturdy doors. I'm gonna try to open it.
It's
Try
not
the handle,
locked,
maybe?
but it just seems to be stuck, like something's against it.
Well, you try the handle then.
I'm gonna try the handle.
Okay.
14. Can I say I like shove a little bit?
Okay, so you turn the handle and you kind of lean your weight into it and kind of push, and it slowly begins to slide, but it's as if there's something behind the door that's leaning against it that's keeping it from getting. You get it just wide enough to step through.
Haven't been eating enough bread, I guess.
It's gonna be like from Pitch Perfect when she's singing and it's just like vomit. That'll be my new weapon.
You can see through the slightly open door that this was once an opulent bedroom. The walls were painted pink and lavender, and the windows draped with lush curtains. But the colors have faded, and insects have feasted on the fabric. There's a portrait on the wall across from you that depicts an elderly woman with a slight smile on her face.
The same woman.
Looks exactly like the woman you saw.
That's her!
You can hear a sickly groan from immediately behind the door.
Did you go in the door?
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna like wedge on in there.
Okay. As you step through, you can see that there is a body rising from behind the door. Your breath catches in your throat as you realize that it is Tiberius Percival, but he is most assuredly dead. His flesh is pale, and a large butcher knife is still lodged in his neck.
Oh, goodness.
The corpse lurches towards you. Roll initiative.
So it looks like the same knife the little girl was holding.
So what happens when you get a 0 on initiative?
When you get a 0.
Yeah. Rolled a 3 with an inability.
Nice. Okay, so this page has a lot of stuff. So who got better than 12?
Sure, 1 to 5.
What's
15.
15.
Yeah. Well, I got. There's a 5. Yeah. Extra 1.
Who got better than 9?
Nice.
Apparently I'm just not going in the room.
4.
7.
0?
Did you get a 0?
3 with an inability.
Nice.
You just don't go. He sits
Very,
in the
very
corner and
nice.
mumbles to himself.
Very nice. 7, 4, 0. And that is Leo, you are up.
All right. So what I saw was Alexandra push the door open, kind of wedge yourself in there. Do I hear?
And
See?
then color drained from her face as she looked at something standing up from behind the door. You could see that there was something standing up, but you couldn't really tell what it was.
Okay, well, I'm at the back, so I was. What's in there, Alexandra?
It's Tiberius, and then I'm like backing away.
Oh,
He's dead.
Tiberius is dead. And
Did I see him like moving past
Talia.
the door at this point?
Yeah. At this point,
Break it down.
you're backing out.
Well, I'm still in the room because I'd have to like wedge all the way out.
Yeah.
I would think if I saw him, I would just back away.
Okay. All right. So,
Like in the
so you're
room.
backing away into the room.
Yeah.
Okay. That brings
like
up
grandma
Tiberius,
portrait's
who
gonna-
advances on you and will attack. So I'll need a speed defense.
Okay.
But as that happens, you can see the corpse of Tiberius, and there's like this butcher knife that's stuck in his neck. And just something about the knife just kind of draws you to it.
Okay.
Oh,
And
you don't get that.
I don't get it.
It was DM intrusion, and you don't get XP because you're doomed.
I'm doomed.
What? Still gives XP to someone else.
Yep. So who do you want to get the other part of the XP?
Wait, so the fact that I'm drawn to the knife is the intrusion?
Yes.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
You must have that knife.
I must have that knife.
The knife. I like that knife.
I'll give it to Alexandra.
There you go, dear. What'd you get for your speed defense roll?
15.
Alright, so he goes and just tries to punch you, and you just duck under it. He's a zombie. He's kind of slow, and you just whoop.
I'm used to these.
At that point, I need a speed defense roll.
That's 18, and I'm trained.
Okay. You hear from behind you, "No! The children are mine!" And you turn and duck out of the way just as Talia is lunging at you with another butcher knife that she pulled from the kitchen.
Oh my goodness, where'd you get this?
Alexandra,
How would I know?
there was a rack of knives.
I'm gonna use like force damage to try and like basically just push him away from me.
Okay.
And the rolled a 6.
A 6 will miss. That will bring up Henry.
I'm gonna go help my friend. Her, not
Okay.
him.
Her, not him.
Man, I'm giving you
Not
props
the
on.
doomed one. He's doomed anyway.
I'm giving you the props on the old lady, and this is how you repay me.
Well, I get +1, and you're the one who said bread, so
Bird.
I'm hitting one my thing.
Okay.
So that's 18 + 1, 19.
That most assuredly hits, and that grants a minor effect or an extra 3 points of damage.
I think I'm just gonna go with a +3.
+3. Okay.
So that's 7 points of damage.
Very nice.
Man, this cane, I need to get one of those.
You okay with it?
Mm-hmm. It's net. Being all natty.
So am I no longer sickened?
Oh, did you take the second into account?
I thought it was just like it makes it more difficult. Right?
Yeah, it does.
But I got
Would you still
19.
hit? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you would not be unless someone mentions food or drink again.
Salty.
You could cut bread with that knife. That's a
And
meat
that
cutting knife
brings
if I've ever
up
seen one.
Fletcher.
All right. So Tally just came out of nowhere and started attacking
He started
Leah, right?
attacking. Yes.
Cut her down.
No, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna start talking to her,
Okay.
and just try to keep her attention.
Okay.
I will
So you
enthrall her.
enthrall her. And that will bring up Leo.
Gosh, I don't even know.
You are the robot from Hitchhiker's Guide. Nobody seen
Yeah.
this movie? Yeah.
Yeah.
I've read the books too.
I couldn't do it.
What does it matter?
Once I see that, gosh, Fletcher has enthralled Talia, I'll move towards the doorway, and after seeing this zombie figure, I'll pull out my revolver and take aim.
Okay.
Jeez, I want to grab that knife. It's such a good looking knife.
That's an 11.
Yeah, actually, I need an intellect.
Oh, I forgot about the knife. My bad. Oh, it's a 20.
Nice.
Nice. Okay, yeah, you really, really, really want that knife, but you managed to, like, no, I need to kill this thing first.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. So, I'll roll.
Is that a 5?
It's a 2.
Oh, no.
Okay, so you're like, no, I need to kill this thing first, and you pull your gun out, and, I mean, it's like point blank, and you're like, no, I need that knife.
I love it.
Speed defense roll. He's attacking you this time.
So what's the difference between speed defense without armor and speed defense? What would I use?
Speed defense. If you wear something that gives you armor, armor reduces the damage that you take.
Yeah.
You don't get the speed defense with armor.
Do I have armor? If it doesn't say armor down here,
Yeah, I don't think you have armor.
so each time you ask for speed defense, I could do the without armor
Yep.
and
Yeah, but
skill.
I think you're specialized.
And you're
Yes,
specialized, so
specialized.
it's 2 levels
Yeah,
easier.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just.
He's a speedy man.
Woohoo! All right, 13.
Okay, so
That's
yeah,
two.
you just duck out of the way.
See that knife? is on
You
this
duck out of your way and you position yourself so that on your next turn you can pull that knife out.
Yeah.
And that will bring up Talia. Give me a intellect roll.
A 4.
Your efforts to enthrall her seem to not work,
Ooh.
and she attempts to stab you.
Ouch. Speed.
Yes.
7. We're getting better. Couple more rolls.
Right. She plants the dagger. You catch it a little bit, and it still goes in, but it doesn't go to the hilt. You will take 2 points of might damage. And that brings up Alexandra.
I'm gonna try and force damage him. As he's turned his back towards me. That's
Nope.
a 2.
That's
Plus +1.
Huh?
Plus you get the +1. I don't know if that counts.
On the die roll or
Give it.
It just says natural. It doesn't say
it's natural.
addition.
So she gets a 3, but it's still a natural 2. So you go to do the blast and you hit it, and like this rotting flesh kind of like sears off. Doesn't really do any real damage, but it's so disgusting. Take another horror point. And that will bring up Henry.
I'm gonna hit it with my cane. That's a 16.
Is that with your +1?
Mm-hmm.
That will hit.
4 more damage.
4?
Yeah.
Your cane doesn't seem to be doing quite as much damage to this creature as you would expect.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost as if the tissues and everything have kind of toughened in death, and it's just, like the wolves you just beat down. It's almost like some of the force is just kind of bouncing off. And that brings up Fletcher.
Fletcher, that's me.
You also find yourself when she puts that knife in, she like throws her other hand against your shoulder and she's pushing you against the wall, and she's really strong.
Oh, we're about to power of Christ compel her. I'm gonna crucifix this and my bad.
Burn a crucifix into her forehead.
Yes, pretty much. That's what I'm gonna do. All right, let's go. That's an 11, and I'm practiced in it.
That will hit, sir.
Awesome.
And she screams.
Yes.
She is outcast currently.
Ooh. So that will be 5 points of damage.
And you lift the crucifix up after it, and yeah, there's like seared flesh.
Ouch. That's gonna hurt in the morning.
That will bring up Leo.
As I dodge out the way, I'm going to reach up in and try to just pull it out in one swift motion.
Give me a speed.
All right. So if I wanted to use effort on this, then
Okay, you're gonna burn. You will spend 3 speed. Do you have edge and?
yeah, I do
speed?
have edge.
All right, so it will cost you 1 less. So it'll take 2 points of speed out of your speed pool.
Okay. I'm gonna do that. I want the knife.
Get
that knife.
Okay, I got a 6.
You got 6.
Mm-hmm.
With your
With my
effort, that
effort.
succeeds.
Oh yeah. I got the knife.
Oh yeah.
Pass that to him as he grabs the knife. And that brings up Tiberius, who swings. You hit him last time. It didn't hurt him, but he swings at you.
Speed.
I just don't like you.
Don't like it.
Think about your face.
Oh, dang it. It's a 1.
Wow.
Retired.
Okay, so he just comes down and just slams his fist into you. You take 3 might damage, but it knocks you back and
Shit,
off
armor,
your
though.
feet as you slam to the ground and slide across the floor.
Does armor apply to this?
Armor will apply, yes.
And a
I
1
think
little
you're the
armor.
only person that has armor.
I have armor.
You have armor?
And that brings up Talia. She's just trying to force that knife on into you.
Nice.
So this isn't a speed because she's
might.
already got it on you. It's a might difference.
It's not very polite to force yourself on people.
Did you learn that in school? That's a 4.
So she just shoves it on in another 2 points,
Where's this guy?
and it's in there. And now she's kind of trying to turn the blade,
She's killing it.
and that will bring up Alex.
Straight ahead, like doing nothing, saying nothing, just looking at no one. It was so creepy.
Alexandra, sorry.
Cool story.
It was
Oh, it's
really
my
creepy.
You're
turn.
up. Yep.
Okay, am I prone? Like,
You're prone.
okay,
Yeah.
I just use my action to get up then.
Okay.
Wow.
And he was just like
you can't
staring
get up,
straight ahead.
and
I was
if you
like,
have a ranged
that's
attack, still
really
like that.
intense for a Tuesday
Which I think
afternoon.
they're all-
So I'm just really use the force.
Yeah.
It's not even a weekend,
Okay.
man.
Use my other d20.
Oh, also where you had the crucifix
Mhm.
burn on her, it starts healing.
Oh, jeez.
Alright, I rolled a 15.
Oh yeah, you blast into him.
40.
4 damage. That's an intellect attack. Very nicely done. chunks of flesh and meat fly off of him. The stench is pretty horrible when that happens. Everybody in the room, which I think is the three of you, I need an intellect defense.
Is this sanity?
Yes, it is.
Okay. 14 with the skill
I
training.
got a 9.
You got a 9? Okay.
I feel like I should probably reroll that, but I'm not.
Do you want to reroll it? Yes, no?
Not really.
Okay.
It's a one shot.
You get another horror point.
What do you have now? 4?
4. Came in sheltered, leaving insane. It's okay.
Yeah. And that brings up Henry.
Is it the last time you ever explored a dark place?
Never.
Pull that
Since I think that, like, being it's not gonna work, I'm gonna start, like, jabbing it with my
By the way,
silver
for the
tip.
three of you that are in the room, this is what the portrait looks like. So just pass it to
Everybody but Seth.
over to Jared. Everybody but Seth.
Everybody but me. Pope.
Aww. It's like
Not
a
what I was
good
thinking.
motherly figure.
Right? That couldn't possibly cause any harm, right?
That's 10.
You like the cute ones. Henry.
10. That will hit the zombie. He's slow.
That's 4 more.
He's tough, but he's slow. He's really starting to look kind of beat
Jabbing
up.
him
Chunks
now.
of meat hanging off of him. Fletcher.
We should have
I-
done luggage and, like, just whack stuff.
Will. I'm going to pull out my vial of holy water.
Oh, tap them into the ciphers.
And it's
Those are one shot things, right?
Yep.
It's a speed attack, so I'm going to take that off there to give me a level of effort and splash it on her. Shouldn't be that hard because she's stuck to my arm. 9 in the level of effort.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Okay, cool. It's a level 3, so it inflicts 3 points of damage, ignores armor, and they can't use special abilities until my next turn.
Yep. Very well done, sir. Yeah, it hits her and it's like boiling away and her flesh is burning where it hits her.
And I don't count the extra damage for that, right? That's just the Cypher, doesn't include my outcast damage?
Correct.
Okay.
That will bring up Leo.
Come on, William. Let's get this guy. That's I'm attacking with the butcher knife.
Oh, okay, cool.
So that's a 10.
10 hits.
Did you say William?
Yeah. That's a 4 point. Well, I don't know if that would be a light or a medium attack.
It's a light.
It's a light. Okay, so I'll be 2 damage.
Okay. But against the zombie, it
Fletcher
counts
Phillips.
as a medium.
Okay.
Because it counts as medium against outcasts.
Is that not his last name?
Okay.
Yeah. So
No.
4.
Oh, I don't know who William is.
Tiberius goes down. Collapses.
William?
Good job.
So,
William.
brings up Talia.
Oh, it's-
One step away from him.
She's trying to twist the blade.
Still
And,
trying?
yeah, so
That's
you
what's
get a
up.
might defense.
Alright. We can make one of these. Hey, it's a 16.
Okay, yeah, you grab her arm and basically just keep her from doing any more damage with the blade. The combat in the other room seems to have stopped, but your friends are still in there. And that brings up Alexandra.
Can I see him if I'm kind of like in the middle of the doorway?
Do you hear a steady stream of curses mixed in with Bible verses?
You hear what sounds like a struggle. Really, from your position here, the only thing that you can see is kind of like the backside of Talia, and she seems to be pushing against the wall, but that's really all you can see. But it does sound like a struggle out there.
Would I have to use my action just to like walk out?
You stood up last turn, so you could walk to the door
Okay,
and see what's going on and still be able to attack.
I'm gonna do that.
Yes, so you walk to the door and you see Talia's got him shoved up against the wall, and she's just like forcing a knife in and is trying to twist it in him, and he's just holding her arm. And you see like smoke coming off of her. Something's gotten on her that's steaming away. And
I'm going to use effort to try to double the damage, and I want to try to like just like force her backwards
okay.
or off of him. If I 17
Oh yeah,
with effort.
definitely. What's the damage?
It's 4, and then however much.
So a total of 5. The force of your blow is of your attack must be from the adrenaline of the fight that you just had. There's just a little bit more in it than you expected, and it lifts her up off her feet and sends her flying down the hallway, and she slides to a stop just outside the door that's down by there, and is not moving. Any intellect defense roll.
I feel like I should probably re-roll this.
What'd you roll?
A 9.
That's not bad. Not good. Not bad.
I don't know. No, I'll keep it.
Keep it.
9? I'm not doing well.
Someone yells bread from
You're
down
naive.
there.
Intellect defense? Being naive?
What?
I said, you're not trained in any
You
sort
can
of...
ask against temptation.
Oh wait, is it against temptation?
No, not temptation.
Yeah, that would have been me, and mine was temptation.
Let's say I know naive has some kind of stuff versus...
I'm not good at the Cypher system.
Well, you're trained in intellect defense tasks and all tasks that involve resisting
Oh,
temptation.
well, hang on.
Well, it says temptation on my paper.
All right, so you got a 9,
Yeah.
and you're trained in intellect defense tasks.
Yes.
Well, this just says against temptation.
It depends on if it's different than the book. I'm looking at the book. I don't know if it's
okay.
different on that.
Okay.
I
Even trained, still not quite enough.
So close.
It was closer, but obviously, because it would have been level.
Who's the closest one to me?
I'm still in the room.
Leo.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn around, just kind of like smirk at you, and then come up with my cane.
Oh my goodness.
Give me an intellect check.
As you're being hit in the face.
Well,
That's an 18.
I only rolled an 8.
Okay.
I don't know if I hit.
How does attacking another...
Okay, so
Doesn't
I need you
work.
to make a speed defense now.
Okay.
And roll a 2.
That's a 10, but I'm specialized.
You're fine. You duck out of the way.
Okay.
As you jump away from the swing, really more in surprise than anything else, you can see her eyes look to be kind of glassed over.
Henry's a girl now.
Oh yeah. Can he get experience points?
Huh?
Can he get experience points?
He can get experience points, just not from a GM intrusion.
So I can't give.
Oh yeah, you can from a GM intrusion.
I'll give you one since I attacked you.
Oh, it's not GM intrusion?
Yeah.
Yeah, it counts as a GM intrusion.
Oh, Jock.
Okay. So
So do I make another one now? Another intellect defense roll?
yes, that's the end of your turn. So make another intellect defense roll,
I'm surprised.
and that will bring up Fletcher.
What is using
You want a fan? A little bit.
what is it called?
Effort.
Yeah.
So
Effort.
So you're going to you'll spend 3 points of intellect. Do you have edge in intellect?
No.
Okay, so it'll cost you 3 points of intellect, and the task counts as 1 level easier.
Okay. I guess
And you're trained in intellect defense, so it's another level easier. So it's 2 levels easier.
Okay. 11.
Okay. You shake it off. You no longer feel the
Shake
urge
it
to
off.
attack your comrades.
Awesome.
And that brings up Fletcher
Look what you made me do.
at initiative 0.
Initiative 0. Alright, so they're just coming out of the room. She's all down there. Is the knife in my...
The knife is still in you.
Okay. I'm just going to pull that out and throw it on the floor and start to patch myself up. That's my turn.
Okay. We're actually out of initiative at this point.
Well, then
I go to tackle Henry against the wall after he swung at me. You aren't taking William.
I want to try to dodge him.
Actually, Henry is so shocked that he just took a swing at you that he really doesn't even much resist. So you push him up against the wall and whatever you would say to a friend that you just tried to brain with your cane.
Why'd you try to hit me?
Seemed like a good idea at the time.
You kind of you were aware of what was going on around you. You knew you didn't want to hit Leo. You just didn't seem able to control your own body.
I just couldn't control myself. Who's William?
That's besides the point. I thought I could count in one of my good companions. But you're trying to injure me too.
Get off of me! The war has changed you. I don't like you anymore, and I walk out. Talking about William.
I want to go in the room and see if I can talk to the husband.
Okay.
That's what I do. So I'm gonna walk.
So Leo's still in there. You see her walk into the room, and she kneels down by the corpse.
And it looks like she leans in and starts whispering in the corpse's ear. And does it move or wake up at all?
It doesn't. It's laying there with its eyes are open. What do you want to ask it?
Basically, I'm gonna ask you.
And I think I shorthanded this in my note. You can ask multiple questions, can't you? But you have to keep spending intellect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one question is 2 intellect, and then for each additional question, I think it's 1.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Okay. Did you kill your children?
No, I love Sable.
I thought there were 3 kids, or am I confused?
You're confused.
It's just one
Yeah,
daughter?
it's
They
just
just
one.
have one kid.
Okay. Do you know where she is?
No, I was working in the bedroom, and Talia came up and killed me.
Can't trust those women.
Oh man. I'm glad I'm not in there.
He's spending a lot of effort to ask him questions. What do you need to know?
Well, he's not in
I'm
there.
not in there.
Leo's in
Well,
there.
wait. Do I
Just
hear the questions or do I hear the answers too?
You just hear the questions.
Okay.
But I guess, how loud are you saying them?
I like a normal volume, I guess.
Okay.
So
So you hear her ask a question, and she waits for a moment, and then she asks another question.
I don't think he's gonna answer you, Alexandra.
That he can't hear the corpse
He
talk to
can't
me?
hear the corpse talk to you.
Okay.
We all might end up like in London.
Mine.
So when I turn and look
Are
at
one of
you,
us not gonna die?
I hear you talking to me. When I turn and look at you, my eyes are solid green, like they're glowing. And so I just look at you for a moment, and then I turn around and continue my conversation.
People's eyes in this place.
Tell me what happened here.
I was repairing and cleaning the bedroom, and my wife came up and killed me.
I'm trying to think of ways to phrase this without using all of my intellect. I'm looking for here. So your daughter's missing, and he doesn't know how, and his wife just killed him.
While this is going on, I'm gonna go check on Talia's
Does the
hopeful
corpse?
corpse.
Did the corpse look like freshly dead, or like a couple days dead?
A few days.
And when did they send the invitation? Or when did we receive it to have us
5
in
days
date?
ago, I think.
Took you 5 days to travel here. You would have received it a day or two before you started traveling,
Okay.
and of course it would have taken it a few days to get to you.
Mm-hmm. So safe to say that they sent it about a week and a half, at least.
Probably about that. Yeah, about 10 days, maybe a few
Yeah.
more than that.
This is not email days. This is
Mm-hmm.
mail days.
Yeah. Mail days with horse delivery,
Yeah.
horse and train.
So everything was fine, and your wife was totally normal, and you guys were just living your life, and she came in here and killed you.
Well, I thought everything was normal. She kept talking about the children being good.
Do you hear, like, you hear pieces of what I'm asking, you just can't hear what you're saying back?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that must seem a little weird. Okay. She's just gonna say thank you, and she says sleep now, and like kind of closes your eyes.
Okay. She looks a little tired
She looks a little
after
tired.
talking to the corpse.
Of course.
I'm not sure I even want to know.
Spun my dice and it landed on a 5. Naturally.
It's like a video of his dice spinning.
Nice.
So, did you learn anything from this dead person?
He said things were normal. He doesn't know where his daughter is, but his wife came in and killed him. And she keeps talking about how the children are good. And that's it. That's all he knew.
Well, Talia is certainly crazy. Speaking of Talia, well, where is she right now?
In the hallway.
The hallway. Okay, I'll go out on the hallway and see what's happened.
I'm gonna follow him.
Okay. You see Fletcher kind of kneeling over Talia. Do you do anything over the dead body?
So I roll over and there's still a slight imprint
Yeah.
on her forehead. Does it look like it's healing up at
No.
all? Okay. Then I'm just gonna say some last rites over her body.
Okay. You hear
From an
your
old friend.
friend Fletcher, the minister, administering last rites to your friend Talia.
What the hell, Fletcher?
You realize that you have murdered your good friend Talia.
What
That's
did you
A
do?
horror point, and the horror threshold increases to
Oh,
3.
What happened?
Do I get the horror point or
No.
just her because she killed
Just
me?
me, 'cause I killed her.
I didn't kill her.
She looks dead. I know what dead looks like.
I didn't mean to.
You killed Talia?
She
You didn't know that before you killed her?
I can find out what she knew, and then I want to like lean down and like start whispering
Burn
in
that
her
in the
ear.
lake.
Oh my goodness. Who's gonna cook the bread now?
It wasn't her fault.
Does she like
She was attacking me.
to me? I guess does she move at all?
I'm gonna kind of finger the giant wound
No,
in my.
that doesn't move.
Does she like open
It's
her
pretty
eyes?
nasty.
Like, is there a way that I would
No.
know that she's like receptive to me asking questions?
Not until you ask.
I'm
See,
gonna
you got
ask
the new
her
knife.
what are the
You
good
want this
little
one too?
children.
Okay, I need an intellect defense roll.
Is it?
Not the white dice. Crap! Not the green one either, because that's the one.
Oh my goodness.
Say 1.
Yeah.
You're gonna kill us.
I'm gonna be the first one to die, just so y'all know.
No, I'm rough.
I turn into a zombie and I follow you around the rest of the game.
You hear, "Good little children never fight," and it's a elderly woman's voice inside your head. And then you are slammed with a psychic attack. You take 2 points of intellect damage,
If you have it.
I had a recovery roll that I used.
and your attempt to contact Talia is completely shattered.
You just melted Tally's
You
brain.
can tell immediately that there is something that doesn't want you communicating with her, and it's blocking it forcefully.
In like my dizzy state, after I like basically get hit in the face with this, I just repeat back what the woman said to me. I just said, "Good little children never." What? Good little children never fight. Okay, yeah, I repeat that.
Good little children also drink from their cups.
Didn't she say another one? And the hog natural.
She was singing something.
Good little children never grow up.
Is that what it said?
Yeah.
I'll find it eventually.
Yeah. All this paper. Don't be crumbling them.
So
I'm not.
I'll
I'm
look
gonna
at the knife that Talia was using to attack.
Mm-hmm.
Do I feel any similar draws to it? Does it look important? I'm gonna pick it up.
As you start to look at it, you kind of feel something stir within it.
You're so weird.
The facial expression is surprising. Oh, you got a
You have
parrot.
to accept all the weirdness. Like,
I can't read. I keep talking. I lose my train of thought.
Use your etymology.
Yeah.
So as Leo, he kind of looks at the knife that was in Tiberius, and he just kind of like seems to zone out for a moment.
Are you here?
It seems kind of familiar to you. It's almost like when you're trying to communicate with the dead. It's almost that type of trance type deal.
okay.
So what the hell happened in the room when I'm out here with Talia? You're all just playing in there.
Playing in there. We saw our good friend Tiberius in there.
What is the knife telling you?
What happened to him?
He had a knife in his neck.
Yours
Isn't it
now.
that one?
No.
Is it still covered in blood too?
Yeah.
This-
and the rotten gore. Tiberius.
This knife it's a good knife, you know, we don't need to waste. But anyways, he attacked.
Let me see it. Can I hold it for a second?
No, it's
You really
It's-
don't want to give up that
it's
knife.
okay. I don't it's pretty disgusting. I pack it away and
Don't even wipe it off. You just,
I just throw it in my pocket somewhere.
So what were you doing just now with this knife?
This knife, I was just looking at it, seeing if it came from the same set as
Here's
the
both of
other
them?
knife.
He has both of them now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have both of
oh,
them.
you got the one that...
Yeah, that's what I said. I wanted.
I got you. I
Okay.
got you. I
Yeah.
got you.
Mhm.
I'm gonna kind of move and go
You mind if
stand
I get
by
that one?
Alexandra.
Well, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want it,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Yeah, I've been hitting people with crucifixes all the time. I'm afraid I might break it.
Sorry, what?
I'm gonna kind of move away from him and go over to my friend.
Okay.
We're all friends.
We're not friends anymore.
This is just a regular knife, right?
As far as you know.
Considered a light weapon?
Yes.
Okay. Probably a regular knife, light weapon. Okay.
There's no telling
Question
what
mark
you
knife.
pick up in this place.
So did Talia get like blown against the door?
She got blown down the hallway
Down
and
the
slid
hall.
to a stop just outside the door.
I'm gonna go step in the room with Tiberius
Okay.
and
You
say
see
last
the,
rites.
could y'all pass that back or?
No.
Yeah. You-
Oh.
That portrait's hanging above the bed.
Oh. Shudder.
Well, we see how we've killed both of our
And Tiberius
hosts
is
now.
very dead.
Oh
And
yeah.
has been very dead for some time. But has a lot of, well, it's rotted flesh, but they look like relatively recent wounds as well.
I'll
Like your friends may have come in and started hacking up
Or
a
beating up
corpse.
the corpse.
Do I know where the thud probably came from?
You kind of think that it probably came from the room where Tiberius is, but It might have been the room that's the door that Talia came to arrest.
I think I heard the thud through this door.
You don't need to open that door.
After giving the last rites, I'll walk back out.
I kind of want to go through this door.
You really... You see, there was... Tiberius is a zombie. Talia apparently
While
killed
he's talking,
him.
I'm going to open the door.
Talia tried to kill our good friend right here.
Is that
Fletcher.
picture? Is that the old woman you saw?
Alright.
So you saw another picture downstairs.
This long, narrow room is filled with child-sized beds. One bed has fresh wildflowers placed upon it. And if we want to take a brief break, because we're waiting on Talia so I can give her a handout.
Oh, okay.
So we can take a quick break if anybody needs to run to the restroom or whatever.
I do.
Get something to
I
drink.
actually just went to the room.
We have
else?
more than one bathroom in the house.
That's hurt.
Are you serious?
Oh.
What kind of new age house is this?
It's a fancy house.
How much did you
It's
pay
so
for this?
So weird.
What a woman.
It's so obnoxious.
Why do you keep... you don't like Leo?
I never like your characters.
You never like my characters. That's so mean.
Your characters are always
Start
depressing
with
or
a
mean.
group.
Yeah, group P.
Well, we can
Sorry.
we
You were important.
take a
I had to do too much coffee.
I know. I'm gonna go pee as well.
You should probably wait till they get done.
Well, we already made that joke, see, but you were actually peeing.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's a good try. It's a good try.
Doesn't count if I didn't know about it.
I might be bringing Father Fletcher into another game. Why not?
All these weird religious characters.
They just went into a room. I'm assuming that you're staying with the group at this point.
Yeah.
That is a long, narrow room filled with child-sized beds. One bed has fresh wildflowers placed upon it.
Okay.
Keyword there being fresh. Everything else has been old and whatnot. And that's a handout for you in the room. And I'm going to take a quick break.
Stretch my legs.
Strush.
Stretch my legs.
We're talking about. I wonder what happened. The cat seemed fine.
Maybe like old as crap. Though? How old was he? Like 15 or 16, wasn't he?
Like 13.
Oh.
So only like a year older than just one.
Nah. There's no telling.
Yeah, I need.
You old thing.
I know.
My sister texted me and said she just had to put her cat down.
Oh.
No.
I didn't even know anything was wrong with him.
Making decent time. You remembered more of it?
I remembered the food part, and I was like, ugh.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite parts of it.
I was like, I wish I didn't feel this.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool to have this in the midst of a campaign, have a character that every time mention of food or drink, they can feel sick. Because every time you go to eat, it's like, oh.
Speaking of eat, let me get those ribs out of the car and just eat those again.
Where y'all eat?
Austin's. That's where my mom loves to go. Loves Austin's. Even though I think she gets the salmon every time she goes and ends up hating it. Because they put that blackened seasoning on the top of it.
But you just tell them not to do that.
Because she forgets every time she goes. And we all do until she gets it. And then, I mean, she eats it, but it's not her favorite.
See, I'd love it because I love blackened fish.
I do, but I like dry fish. I hate wet fish. You know, when they get it to you and it's like slimy, you know?
Yeah.
Nope. I overbake all of my fish. For the most part. I like it dry.
Jared! Oh, is he in the bathroom? Thought he was still cutting his
You're
nails.
not allowed. Jared, hurry up and pee.
Wasn't he the one that told me we have more than one bathroom? And he went to the same bathroom as everyone else.
Not everyone else, because I would do it.
Oh, true.
Not that anybody that might stumble upon watching this cast once I put it on YouTube wants to know about the bathroom break. But
Yes, and we all had
I
a
like
bathroom
how
break.
you said that there are more than one bathroom and then you went to the same bathroom.
Well, I didn't really need to use the bathroom, but then I thought, well, I might as well go now, so I don't have to go later.
okay, so just as a reminder, right before we took the break, everybody went into this large, narrow room that was filled with child-sized beds, and one of the beds is covered with fresh wildflowers.
I just kind of say to myself, like, there she is, and then I, like, start walking over to the bed.
Okay.
There who is?
The little girl, right there.
People.
Does the little girl look like Sable?
Do I know what Sable looks like?
Well, the last time you saw Sable was a few years back, so, I mean, she would have been, like, maybe a very young toddler. So,
This girl would be older than her?
definitely.
Okay. No, it's not Sable. Can't you see her? Right there.
I see a bunch of flowers.
Henry, can you see Sable? You saw the old lady.
No, I don't see Sable.
I'm gonna
Wait,
like,
it's
walk
not
all the way
Sable.
over to her.
Okay, and she just kind of motions at the bed.
Like, is she motioning me to sit down?
Seems to be.
I'm gonna sit down.
Okay. When you sit down, you feel an overwhelming compulsion to lie down.
I'm gonna lay down.
She gets the big paragraph.
That can't be good.
It's awesome.
And she sinks into the bed.
Just faked
It's
from
like-
existence.
It's like
Okay,
episode 1.
So you guys see me, like, lay on the bed.
Mhm.
Hold on.
And then
Shut up. Let me read. Kaylee? What is it? He ran away, just like Granny said.
who the hell's Kaylee?
Lucy's father came for her. Max? Max ran away too.
What the hell is she on about?
There's a lot of things in the cellar. You just didn't see her, Kaylee. Okay, and then I wake up.
Well, what are you
Kaylee?
saying?
What?
Who's Kaylee?
Who's Kaylee? I'm just like really confused for a minute. Hold on, I have to read it again really quick because it's really hard to like do that out loud and read it.
Have you seen this in your line of work, Fletcher? The crazies?
Seen a few.
She says she can talk to the dead, you know, I think it's having a toll on her mental stability.
I've seen a few who said they could do that.
Well, how do you fix them?
It's gonna kind of smile at you.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I tried to catch it and I was like, nope. Okay, so basically what I'm gonna explain to you guys, it'll be a lot easier if I just like read it out loud. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Holy crap, that's a big paragraph.
Yeah, it's really hard to read out loud in here. Alright, it says, basically, I'm going to explain to you guys that I saw a vision. It was nighttime and only the dim light of the moon illuminated the room. Another young girl approached my bed. You've never seen her before, yet she somehow seems familiar. Leandra, she says, are you awake? Kaylee, I replied, what is it? What do you think about? About Frederick? He ran away, just like Granny said. I said this. Isn't it kind of funny, though? The girl asks. He's about the same age that Lucille was. And I say Lucille's father came for her. And Max ran away, too. The little girl looks around at the other children. They all lie with their eyes closed. Then she continues. Leandra, I think there's something in the cellar. And I say there's a lot of things in the cellar. That's not what I mean. The other day I couldn't find Granny. I looked everywhere, even in the cellar. And then while I was by the garden, I saw her coming out of the cellar. You just didn't see her, Kaylee. No, I looked everywhere. If she was down there, I would have seen her. Just then, the door swings open and a woman's silhouette fills the frame. A brittle voice calls, "Good night, my dears. Good little children sleep at night." And then I wake up. I tell you guys, like, all of this. That was my vision.
Did the woman's silhouette look like the portrait in the room?
Was it the portrait?
All you saw in the vision was a silhouette, so hard to tell.
It could have been, but, I mean, all I saw was a silhouette. I'm not really sure.
Sounds like this orphanage does have a lot of history to it.
We really need to find Sable.
There's no way Sable's still alive.
Disgusting.
How did you kill Tiberius?
I don't like you.
Henry, I'm trying to get us out of here safely.
I'm just gonna like start break down crying.
Out of here safely. We could just take the door.
The door?
That's how we got in.
Yes, but there's not going to be a carriage out here for... Will we have arranged them to come out back in a certain... How would that have worked?
Yeah, in a couple of days when you were supposed to be finished here.
I'm gonna put my arm around Henry and be like, Tiberius said he didn't know where Sable was. It's okay. She's probably still alive.
We have to find Sable.
Did he say that while you were hacking his body apart?
You were gonna let her hack you apart.
Yeah, you would have realized that Tiberius had been dead for quite a while before you guys got here.
What kind of visions are you people seeing? Hacking apart dead bodies. Blasting Talia.
Would you rather I let her kill you?
She wasn't going to kill me.
I told you I didn't mean to.
This is what I expect, though. Coming here, finding two of my closest friends dead. It's only a matter of time.
Before we slap you?
If you hate life so much, just die.
Henry!
This person's your friend?
Church doesn't condone that kind of behavior.
I thought we were good buddies.
No, I told you we're not friends anymore.
I'm gonna go down the stairs. I'm hurt. I stand down the stairs, and I'm just gonna go back to the front door and just kind of sit down and kind of
Wallow in your doom.
Yeah.
As you start to head back down the stairs, they seem restored to their former glory. Bright light fills the room. Children's laugh and play. An old woman hugs a child and says, "You're such a sweet little child, Leandra. Just like a little angel."
And so now it's like dark. Like, how's the place lit? Like, are there light fixtures? Would this still be with candlelight?
Candlelight for the most part. By this point in time, the sun's pretty much set outside.
That's what I thought.
There only a few of the rooms actually have light in them. But as you start to go down the stairs, and the rest of you can see this, all of a sudden it just kind of lights up from downstairs, and it's like well lit, like it's daytime. So
and I see the lady in the portrait hug a
little girl who she calls Leandra.
You know, people who go off on their own die.
Leandra. I'll turn around. I found Leandra. She's down here with the old lady.
I'm gonna like start walking down there when I hear him say that.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say, not you too.
as you get down to the lower level, I mean, you're still seeing them. They're like all around you.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try a poke one.
Your hand goes right through them.
Interesting.
Okay, so I'm gonna just like randomly like start following something, and I walk out of a door.
Where are you going, Alexandra?
I'll follow.
Okay.
I'm like not paying attention. I'm like obviously like super focused on something, and I just like wander off.
Yeah.
So is this down at the bottom of the stairs?
Yeah. So she's gotten down to the bottom of the stairs, and basically what you see Alexandra do is, you guys are kind of interacting. You try to touch the children. Your hand goes through, and Alexandra looks at the doorway, and seems to kind of just slightly nod and walks out the doorway
Like
and
to the outside.
to the outside
Oh,
and
no.
turns to the left and starts and walks out of sight.
So when I go down the stairs, I see all this lit up
Yes.
with children.
Yes. And as you're just starting to come down the stairs, that's when you see Alexandra walk out and go to the left. And she seems to just at this point be ignoring everything that's going on in the lower level.
You think we should follow her, Fletcher?
Holy Mary, Mother of Jesus! The hell is all this?
I'm gonna run after her.
Children.
Okay, it's easy enough to catch up with her.
I'm gonna like.
So Henry takes off to go and catch up with Alexandra.
And does the dining room and everything look restored too, or was it just the
It's
stairs?
just the hallway.
Just the hallway. Oh, okay.
Guess we better follow.
If I catch up to her like before she gets to where she wants to go, I want to like try to grab her and like shake
Shake
her.
her
Okay. By the time you catch up with her, you can tell she seems to be walking toward what looks to be the entrance to the cellar.
What are you doing?
It's the little girl, but she's older, and she's telling me to come with her. We have to find out what she wants. Do I still see the little girl, like, telling me to come follow her? Or
Yeah,
is she
she's
just...
and she kind of points at the cellar door.
She's pointing at that door.
Are y'all here?
Which
I
was-
would've-
which is
I
one
would've
of those
followed
doors
what-
that's kind of like
Fletcher would've
laying
done.
down at an
Yeah,
angle, and you
we're
know,
going.
up and then go down the
Okay.
steps.
I mean, we're a few.
Is it a lit?
Step
Yeah,
path?
y'all wouldn't be far behind them.
Is there lighting outside?
There's some moonlight and of course
Okay.
some starlight. It's dark, but
Is the light from inside the dining room, radiating out? Of the...
as y'all walk out the door, that light goes out.
That's probably for the best we left that room.
It'd be for the best when we get out of here.
Going to the cellar though, I don't.
Didn't she mention something about a cellar?
Yeah, she says
Yeah.
She says there's a lot of things in the cellar.
Or I have a feeling that this is the cellar.
Can I start, like, opening the doors to the cellar? Or is it, like something that we all have
Yes,
to do together?
as you start to open the door to the cellar, give me a moment. And I apologize, but there's a lot going on in this area.
So we'll have this going to kill you.
Are those vegan Oreos?
Oh,
It's me?
Yep, that goes to you.
All Oreos are. I thought they were made with animal fat. Really? I thought Oreos were made with
I'm
animal
going
fat.
to like grab her as she's opening
They're approved.
the
Really?
cellar
You get
door
approved.
Is there a list?
and just be like, no,
Sure there
you
is.
don't need to go down there.
But the little girl...
No.
I'm just gonna, like, look around. No one else can see her?
No! I need to sit down. Are we in a place that has a chair?
You're outside.
We're outside?
Yeah. She's trying to open the cellar door. She's trying to keep her from going into the cellar.
I'm like holding her back.
I'll start
just-
helping Henry.
Let's
Pull
just
out
go
Xander
back into
back.
the house, have a sit, collect ourselves, and then see where we can go.
Fletcher's in the right mind. We should do that.
I like this idea.
But Sable might be down there. I think the girl's trying to tell us how to find her.
Aye, and she can wait another 10 minutes.
She wouldn't have 10 minutes.
Well, she's had 10 days so far.
Pass that to Seth.
And here comes the 360 change.
On second thought.
And it's from the other side of the cellar door.
Okay, I was about to say, on second thought, let's go see what's down in the cellar.
I'm going to like get in front of the cellar door. We do not need to go down
Give
here.
me an
What?
intellect defense.
What's gotten into you, Fletcher?
9.
9.
And apparently I'm trained in intellect defense.
You are trained in intellect defense.
Yeah.
You come to the realization that the desire to not go into the cellar is not your thought.
On second thought, we should go in the cellar.
The desire to... What? The desire to not go into the...
Her desire to prevent people from going into the cellar is not her thought.
So it's someone else's?
Yeah, someone's making her like
Oh.
scared of the cellar.
Yeah, I'm trying to make you know we don't need to go in there.
But it's dark and spooky. And I'm going to open the cellar door.
Yeah, I'm going to assist her in opening the cellar door.
Okay.
Roll the doom.
Hastily.
The cellar has a bare dirt floor and is strewn with
bare
ancient
dirt.
casks and jars. Among the refuse are what seem to be 5 complete skeletons. At one end of the cellar, many large rocks have been scattered about.
You happy? Let's go
I'm
back
just
to
gonna
the house
rush
now.
into the middle of the cellar.
Rush into the middle of the cellar.
Yes, looking for what I smelled.
Do I
Deal
still
with your
see the little
smells.
That's
girl?
that to Jared.
Guys, we should really head back. We should really head back to the house right now. This
All right.
it's not good to be here.
As you go in looking for what you're trying to, what you heard and smelt,
Mhm.
give me an intellect check.
14.
Okay. As you go through kind of looking at things, you realize very quickly that the skeletons are of 5 adults who apparently died violently. Looks like from multiple stabbing injuries, as well as some bludgeoning injuries.
Yeah, we shouldn't be here. It's not safe here. There's nothing. Sable clearly isn't in here. She might still be in the house.
Well, you're right about one thing. It's not safe.
Is that all that's in the cellar? Just the bodies?
That's it.
And jars. And containers.
Well, then we get the jars.
As you walk to look at the jars,
I'm gonna look at where she's pointing.
you can tell that there is a well-concealed trapdoor.
Do I feel like she's motioning for me to take a look at it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go over there and like try to like not fall into it, but like open it.
When she moves over there, I'm going to kind of hastily jog over there and kind of.
Wait, as
Prevent
you start
her.
to jog off. Wait, Leo, come back.
Well, no. This is important. I'm sorry.
Do I get it open before he gets to me?
Yeah, I mean, you're right there, yeah.
Okay.
So you get it open just as they're coming up, and you can see a ladder descending into an area below the cellar.
The little girl's pointing this way.
No.
In fact, she points down the ladder, and then she disappears.
She's pointing down here.
That's okay. She can point down. We don't need to go.
This is where Sable is. I can feel it, and I start walking down.
I'm gonna start going down too.
Okay. As you start going down, you do hear what sounds like the whimpering of not one, maybe 4 children. And you get down into the area, and you can see 4 children in what appears to be a partially worked but mostly cavernous area. And there are 4 children, one in each corner. And you guys are coming down right here.
A massive room.
When they decide to climb down the ladder, anyways, I'll turn back to Fletcher and say, "Well, what was it?"
So grab some
These
minis for
buddies.
you guys to use.
Yeah.
Beaten and stabbed.
Give me a mini.
Yeah, it appears so.
You give me a mini.
You get your own mini. I'm RP and I don't care about your minis.
What are you? What kind of person?
She's a
some
giant red
form
fire
of
thing.
female.
Medium, minister, medium, soldier.
I will have no weapons other than a dagger.
What's a soldier person?
And you're about to get this one. If you
I
want
have
to
a
go
gun.
ahead.
You don't have a gun?
No. Like a crossbow.
It's me.
I feel like I want the cross. I feel that.
That's a girl.
You want
That's a
old
girl?
Roscoe? Where's he?
The whole time
Somewhere in
it's
there.
like crossbow. I like this.
This is a girl that has
We'll
a
let you
dagger.
start after Tiffany does.
Do I get something?
Yeah, you're about to. You see which squares I pointed at the ladder leads down to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come to me, my child.
What can you tell about the bodies?
They were beaten and stabbed and left to die. What the hell happened in this place? Where'd the rest of them go?
Rest. Oh. They're going down this ladder. We don't need to go down there.
Well,
I fear that's how these met their end.
well, if it did, we need to go down there. Help them out.
They've
And I'm
made
gonna go
their own
down.
choices.
I'm gonna go down the ladder.
Oh, boy.
Okay. So you go down the ladder, you'll be down in those one of those squares.
She was already down here, right? She was the first one down here.
I see Fletcher.
That's your part. And you'll actually be the one that starts it.
Oh, please be a sing-along. Turn this into a musical. Oh. Me.
Man, you have like a whole book over there.
You should have given me erase memories.
Okay.
Yeah, that would have been hilarious. You eat all the food. No, you didn't.
You don't remember it.
Why do I feel sick? No reason at all.
Just whenever?
Whenever you're ready to start.
So we just read the talking parts?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
And
so
feel free to act out any parts of it. But
so I guess when they come down, they'll see me kind of like
yeah, but basically it's as they're coming down.
crisscross applesauce, and you see me just like holding. Looks like I'm holding something, just kind of like rubbing.
And you're singing crisscross applesauce?
No, she's sitting Christmas
Oh.
episodes.
Let me hold on, just so I'm clear. Like we're possessed.
Yes.
Like when we go. Okay, cool.
And as I'm sitting there rubbing this thing, I'm saying, good little children never fight. Good little children sleep at night. Good little children drink from their cup. Good
Fletcher,
little
you
children
still think we
never
should have come
grow
down
up.
here? I'm gonna walk behind her and I'm gonna try to shake her, as it seems to be an effective mechanism.
And as soon as I finish that, I kind of like look directly behind me, not like at you, and I just kind of look back, and then I just get like this disappointment on my face, like, yeah. How do you say her name?
Leandra, but I
Leandra.
think
Yeah,
she's got
that's what I
something
was
first.
asking. It's a Leandra. So you found my little hidey hole.
What happened to Kaylee? And like I'm just gonna get really confused and then like start to kind of like pull in like a little kid would.
So we come down here and this little show is happening?
Yes.
I'm reading from my Bible.
I'm going to kind of like look down at my lap and kind of smirk and just say, I saved her.
I'm
Can I
gonna
interrupt any of this?
You tried, but they just keep going.
Okay.
like become
Even if you
kind
don't
of
pick them
afraid
up.
Okay.
and like start like walking backwards away from her and I'm gonna say she's dead, isn't she?
This mortal flesh is only a shell.
So,
She's in a better place.
You killed her.
I
kind of
saved
backs this
her.
way.
I waited as long as I could. Sometimes I think this was okay. And then I look at her and I like look up and down and get disappointed again. Say, sometimes I think I wait too long. I become too attached, but I had to save them all.
Save them from what?
From growing up, of course, my dear Leandra. You all started off so sweet, so innocent, but the world is cruel. It turns you into something else. Remember the story that I used to tell about the girl who
She
wanders
starts
from the
moving
path?
Yeah.
Closer toward
And
her.
the wolf eats her.
It's not the wolf we should be afraid of. It's men. Men who make war, who cheat, and swear and gamble. Men who say they love you.
Who you talking
Men
about,
who
Phyllis?
Men who come home drunk at night and beat you just because you haven't sunk as low as he has. Women who gossip. Women who paint their faces and lure someone else's husband into their beds.
Ooh.
I have to save you all from that world. Save you while you still have innocence in your heart.
I'm gonna like completely like just start backing away from her and I'm gonna say, Granny, I don't want to be saved.
That's what they all say at first. But soon enough, you stop talking back to your elders. I'll save you. And sooner or later, I'll save all the rest.
I'm gonna be near Henry while he's talking in this trance right now to prevent anything. I kind of see that's about to happen.
I'm gonna start walking towards her really slowly. No, you won't, Granny, because I'm here to stop you.
Oh, shoot.
And I start to like reach into my cloak.
I wasn't expecting that. Plot twist.
I kind of smirk and give a little chuckle. Stop me, Leandra.
You can see this cacophony
and
of
then
Bible
I
verses
draw-
behind you, and that's all I'm doing this whole time.
And then I draw my knife and I like just go in and stab her.
Can I not, like, when I see it drawn, can I not try to oppose?
You actually can.
I
mean,
can?
and you're able to stop the stab.
Okay,
But-
then I'll do that.
Yeah.
And I say, how are you going to stop me, dear?
We already have. I'm just here to distract you so you won't notice the rocks.
Rocks? What rocks?
Yeah, what
Oh, that-
rocks?
The rocks the other children are piling on the trapdoor.
And then I run up to the ladder, very frantic, and start like pushing on the trap door. And I start pounding on it frantically. And then I start,
Is it a trap door?
and I start screaming, "Let Granny out! You have all been very naughty children!" And I keep trying to push on the door, and then I just fall off of the ladder, and then I like grab my legs and I try to stand up, but I just can't get up.
I'm gonna look down like I'm pulling a knife out, and I think I see blood, and I'm gonna say goodbye, Granny.
And then I kind of crawl over to her, trying,
That's why I didn't move it.
like begging, "Don't go, Leandra. Granny loves you."
Quit rolling around, Granny.
And then like I kind of like reach out as if someone's like leaving, and then I accept my fate.
Can I prevent any future stabs?
There are no future stabs.
Okay.
However, at that moment, you are no longer possessed. You saw what you had as a benefit, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
everything's cool.
So what happens when you're a thespian?
At that moment,
You're a
Spirit?
lesbian.
See?
of an old
Jared's
woman
always like,
appears.
"You're a lesbian?"
Roll initiative.
That's cool.
And the 4 children that are whimpering in the corners turn around, and their eyes seem to be glowing that red color like the wolves, and they begin moving toward you.
Awesome.
My character, I'm still possessed, right? By the little girl, or was that just like...
You are technically yes, but you are able to control yourself
Okay.
because that possession is what gives you that benefit.
Okay.
All right, so anybody get 18 or better?
Oh,
18.
nice. Let's go, Leandra.
Which one is me? Is this me?
You're the one standing up.
Yeah. The one laying down was actually the my character. But that's
Then over 9.
I got a 14.
No. I mean, I rolled an 11, but I suck at initiative.
And what did Henry get?
4. My legs are broken. I can't move.
So you're a, what did you end up on, Seth?
8.
Okay. And then 4 was...
Go, Granny, go, Granny, go.
Alright, so that will bring up Alexandra.
I'm going to turn and force blast Grandma. Probably didn't make it. That's a 5.
That misses completely. She goes. She floats across the room toward Alexandra.
Oh,
And
forgot who Granny was.
and attempts to slam Alexandra. I need a defense roll, please. This speed.
Nice effort.
Can I? Doesn't matter.
1.
A 1.
Oh,
I'm just
Okay.
done.
You just feel a force of energy hit you and knocks you back. You take 3 points of damage.
Might be
Armor will apply.
or speed.
That will go against might.
Okay.
And it feels as if she literally sucked the life out of you. And that will bring up Leo.
So am I aware of the children in the corners?
Yes, you are.
Okay, well,
And they don't seem to be armed, but they're like reaching down and picking up rocks and starting to move towards you guys.
locked and loaded. I'm gonna take out my revolver and just
Time to die, children.
try to shoot him before he gets to me.
2.
It is a 2.
See if we can get a GM intrusion.
Wait,
on
can I
every
use my
turn.
XP
Okay,
to reroll?
You can.
I'm gonna do that. Bye bye XP. very confident.
And who are you shooting at?
Just one of the children.
You're shooting a child.
Yes, I'm shooting a child.
Wow.
Without even knowing if they're dangerous or
War
not.
has hardened him.
That's a 14.
14. 14 will hit a child.
Alright, I take 5 points of damage as I pierce them.
Bullet rips through Sable's shoulder.
Oh, Lord.
You can't get mad at them for killing what's her face.
Why would a child be alive down here?
Why would you just shoot a child?
Because I'm freaking out, man!
Flashback.
Oh, Lord. William told me it was dangerous here.
Glad you didn't crit the poor child.
I mean, Sable's gonna attack me, so might as well.
That's cool. I already killed the last parrot they had. Shit.
You're really doing her a favor by killing her.
Alright, I need a speed defense roll from whoever the two people are that the children are up against.
Can I say that, because I was reading from my Bible, I was doing the encouragement, is that still active for defense?
It will be after the children go because you go after them.
Lame. I would have done that.
I got a 12 and I'm specialized.
Okay, you dodge out of the way as Sable tries to
This is
smack
Sable?
you with a rock. Yeah.
Does she look like... But her eyes are glowing red, right?
Yeah, but she doesn't look like she's dead yet. She's got a bullet hole in her shoulder.
I got a 9 with no training.
Okay, you dodge also. Barely, but you do
Barely.
make it.
Awesome.
And that brings you up.
Okay. I'm going to walk away from the child. Over that way. And continue my... Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to look at ex-granny on the ground, at Henry.
Mhm.
And I'm going to twist your mind and unlock your more primitive instincts. So you will no longer be naive child, you'll be an angry child. And you have an asset on all might-based attack rolls for 1 minute.
Cool.
What's asset mean?
It makes it easier.
An
One level
asset
easier.
drops
Oh, okay.
the difficulty
Gotcha.
by one
Okay.
level.
Cool.
And that will bring up Henry.
So, like, I don't know how many actions I get.
Well, a lot of it has to do with how close you are. You're actually in immediate range of Granny, so you could stand up and still attack.
What about if I wanted to drink something?
That would be your action.
No, I'm just gonna stand up and hit her with my cane.
Okay. I mean, and sometimes doing something other than the attack is a good idea. It just depends.
Now I'm gonna hit her with my cane. Show her.
And since we've got some new players, yes, your ciphers are one-time use, but this would be the time to use them. If it's applicable.
Mm-hmm. Dang.
Burn that XP!
Well, that was a 1, so
You didn't want to do an intrusion?
that's only a 10.
A 10 will miss Granny that may,
Even with an asset on might-based attacks?
even with an asset.
I'm gonna have to start using effort.
And that will bring up Alexandra.
Did you say I was knocked down? Or I was just knocked back?
You were knocked back.
Okay. I'm going to... Okay, since I have pages, do I have to, like, literally read them? Or can I just, like, run my hand over them, like, tease them? Is that just, like, how I say, or...
I mean that it's pages for you to tap into. That's just kind of a fluff thing.
Okay.
So I mean, you could quote activate it however you want it to work for your character.
Like, she could have, like, read it beforehand and just
Yeah,
recited it? Okay. So, I'm going to basically stand up and face her and just, like, to you guys start speaking gibberish, and this, like, fiery wall, like, forms in between, like, us and her. And it says it is literally hell's fire. It's a 30 by 30 by 1. that will burn and attempt to consume anything in it or that passes through it. And it'll last for 10 minutes and inflicts 8 points of damage.
Okay. So flies right across her, and as it does, you all notice that as the fire goes across her, it actually seems to lick up and into her form, almost as if she's incorporeal. And that will bring Granny up. She will pass through the flames, which will do more damage. And let's see, you did the flames, so she's going to attack you. You need a speed defense.
8.
So she once again slams you for another 3 points of damage. Goes to Mike.
Does armor does apply?
Armor does apply for that attack. Also, you notice that around her, the ground starts getting kind of this foggy substance in it, and it kind of spreads out, and it's in the area that both of you are on as well. And you just kind of feel just a general malaise. You just don't feel right in that area. Seems almost like an extension of her haunting. And that brings up Leo.
Alright. So I'll try to talk to... Say, well, who... I'll turn around and look at the other child. Who's the other?
It's a little boy.
It's a little boy, I don't know him.
Oh, is it the Oscar and what are their names?
Oh no!
Otis, Abel, and Edgar.
You don't know him.
That's 4.
That was like 4. So all I could say, well, I'll try to, what are you doing down here? I'm sorry.
That's what you do. Come across the child, you just start shaking him.
Who do you do that to?
Sable.
Is it, Granny keeps us safe here at the orphanage.
Well, she is an orphan now.
You just stay back. Hold pressure to that wound, okay?
I don't know who shot you.
Wasn't me.
Just sticks the gun behind his
Besides
neck.
talking?
What?
Do you do anything besides talking?
If I have time, I'd want to turn around and shoot the ghost figure.
You would have time.
Okay.
It's only Gavin that doesn't have time when he talks. Because he orates too much.
He talks a lot.
So I want to use effort for this.
Okay.
Would that be a speed or am I?
That'd be speed.
I'd be speed?
Because it's a ranged attack.
Okay. And so since I have edge, it'd only be 2 more off, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Oh, I got a 17.
Okay, good. 17 with effort will hit.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll do an extra point of damage.
So I'll be 6 points of damage.
Okay.
Good job. Look at you.
And on the other side of Granny, you can see the wall go poof as the bullet passed right through her.
Does it look like it hurt her little spirit?
She kind of turned, her eyes kind of flared
Okay.
in your direction.
Okay, that makes me feel a little better.
That brings the children up. Those 2 are going to go to that person that's right there, which I guess is Leo.
Mm-hmm.
So you will need 2 speed defense rolls, sir. And these...
Oh no, they're walking through the fires.
Whoops.
Oh no!
They basically are running to get to that point. But both of those little boys take 8 points of burning damage.
Aw.
I was kind of hoping they'd be smart enough not to.
They're not in control of themselves, unfortunately.
Country commoners.
For my speed defense rolls.
I'm just trying to help Alexandra kill more innocents.
No.
That brings up Fletcher.
Oh, yeah, for my.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I got a 4 and a 10, but I'm specialized.
Okay, so you are barely good on both of them. So that brings up Fletcher.
I'll move away from these creepy children.
Just don't move through the fire.
No. It kind of cut off the only place I was gonna go.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
But Granny's not in the fire anymore. She kind of floated around.
Like this?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't think about that.
Oh. Like this?
No, I mean, that's
Stop giving
good.
him ideas.
Actually, both of you give me a for Fletcher and Alexandra. Both of y'all give me a speed defense roll.
Fletcher
Was your
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went third.
and
I got
wait, so me
Yeah.
or Henry?
Is that Henry up there?
That's Henry.
Yeah.
Oh, Henry.
15.
Okay. You rolled a 17 on your shot, didn't you? Okay. You take 4 points of damage because I didn't move Granny, and basically his shot went through Granny, and the bullet sunk into you.
That's just rude.
I am tied. I am tied.
Does armor count?
Armor counts. Okay, so Fletcher's up.
Alright, so I will. Oh, I really don't want to. I'm going to move
Not like the cow.
over there. And actually, I have to be. Oh no, it's a ray. Okay, I'm going to pull out of my pocket a finger bone of Peter. And I will call on my
Peter's finger bone.
faith and channel God's power through this and hit the spirit.
Are you applying any effort, sir?
What would that out of? Intellect?
It's a ranged attack, so with speed.
Sure, why not? I'll just be crippled.
Does that take you to 0?
No.
Oh.
What
Close
happens
enough,
if
though.
you reach 0?
If you reach 0 in a pool, you're impaired, and anything going past more difficult.
Okay, it's a 13 with an effort.
So how do you die?
13 with an effort
All through 0.
will just get you there.
Awesome. That's not good that it just gets. It deals 8 points of holy damage.
And please. No! You will not take my children!
Poor lizard.
And that brings up Henry.
I'm gonna take this, my crystal and throw it at her. Crystal globe with red powder.
Okay.
I don't know what kind of,
It's ranged attack, so
So it'd be
that's a speed.
but I want to use effort then.
Okay.
$16.
That will hit. So what's the effect of her globe?
It does 5 points of damage over 1 round. Oh, and if it was an outcast, it was a little easier.
Okay, you definitely hit. So you have 2 assets on it.
Okay, I wasn't sure. If she was
Okay, so she throws this globe, and as it hits Granny, the glass around it shatters, and this glowing powder begins to spin, and it narrows down almost like a vortex, and it drills into Granny DeMay's spirit. And you're thinking, that could be a handy weapon against us.
That is the ninth weapon.
And that brings up Alexandra.
Since when I hit her, I get that like special power.
Yep.
Is that hitting her with like mental or physical, like me hitting her?
Any attack that you yourself makes doesn't apply to a Cypher.
I'm going to try to force damage her then. And I rolled a natural 20.
Nice! Okay, so you can do 4 extra points damage. You can knock her down. You can... She's not really carrying a weapon, so disarm's not going to work. You can stun her, or you can impair her, and I don't know if you have a major effect yourself or not. Be on your second page if you do.
No.
Do another 4, so it'll hit her for 8 total.
For 8. Alright, so that
And then
will-
she is corporeal.
Yep.
Until my next turn. The end of my next turn.
Yeah. So you see Granny DeMay solidifies.
Oh.
Now.
And at that point, I can't do it because you hit her. That was perfect. Well done. Okay, so she just kind of like claws out at. You just did that to her, so she just like claws at you and screaming at you that they're my children, leave! And I need a speed defense from you.
10.
Alright, so she slams you against another 3 points of damage. And that will bring up Leo.
Alright.
Now you shoot her.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot her.
Shoot her.
While dealing with the children on me, I'll just kind of be ducking and stepping around them.
So you're not going to shoot the children now?
No, I'm not going to shoot the children now. I'm not going to shoot her either. I was only at 4.
Yep, that will miss.
Teddy bears.
No, no. That's so cute.
And, is that your 6th shot? Or 5th?
Well, I would have reloaded when...
You didn't say
No,
you reloaded.
that's my 5th.
Okay.
One more.
Denied.
Denied.
You got one more and then you're going to have to reload. That brings the children up, so they'll move toward whoever they're closest to. And anybody that has a child next to them will need to make a speed defense roll. Yes, they try to bash you with a rock.
How much does the bashing do?
2 points, might.
11 and 4 with
Roll
2
6.
assets.
I assume they're level 9-ish.
They're level 3, so it's 9. Unless you're Leo, in which case you get 3.
Yeah,
Right?
Nope.
Is that everybody?
Leo, take my child too.
That brings up Fletcher.
Alright. Let's see. Alright, seeing this. Why not? Yellow. I'm gonna go up. And I'm going to smack her with my crucifix.
Here we go.
Yeah, Grandma.
No. No.
Bad Granny.
Alright. Oh, really? 19 to a 9 with an asset?
Oh, it didn't stay on thing. I was like, why are you complaining about
No,
that?
it was a 19 and then it rolled to a 9.
9 with an asset will miss Granny.
Darn.
She's in solid form and you cannot connect as she ducks out of the way of the crucifix.
I just
She does
suck
seem
at
to
this.
kind of repel a little bit from it, but that will bring up Henry.
I'm gonna hit her with my cane.
Alright.
It's a 13.
You go to hit her with the cane and she
You should
faster
two
than you would
assets
think
now.
that an old woman
I
could
have 2
move.
assets.
Yeah, because I gave 1.
Yeah, he gave you
For
one.
a minute.
And I thought you had another one.
Is it automatically used or like do I have to say I'm using it?
For what?
Assets.
Asset's different than effort.
Yeah. Effort you have to say you're using and you spend out of your pool. If you have an asset, that's automatic.
So I have 2 assets?
I know you have 1. I thought you had another one. Maybe I was thinking out loud. But
I
you
think
have-
that was when she had the asset from you and she also used effort.
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you just have 1 for
13
me.
with an asset.
13 with an asset will hit her.
Awesome.
What's your damage?
4 damage.
Alright. And whack! Hits solidly this time. Doesn't look like the blow goes. Well, it doesn't go through her like the previous blows out.
Why are you holding her?
That brings up Alexandra.
Because
Alexandra.
she's happy.
He's gonna try to force blast her again.
You want to hold her? Just kind of clawed
This is a 3.
Come here, friend.
That's a GM intrusion. So you go force blast her, and she jumps out of the way. And as she jumps out of the way, you can see her physical form goes back to incorporeal, and she just kind of like "Rah!" and yells, and there's like this blast of energy out from her.
I knew that was gonna happen.
And I need a might defense roll from all of you.
It's been a pleasure.
16.
That's a 9.
10.
Also a 10.
All right. Those of you who failed take 5 points of might damage.
Oh my gosh. Can we use armor?
Armor will apply,
Can you check my defense?
and you are not prone.
Can you check my thing first?
And then it's Granny's turn, because that was the GM intrusion.
Do you need this piece of paper back?
Well, I mean, I don't have to have it. I was just going to save myself cutting pieces of paper out again.
If she breaks it, I'll cut you a piece of paper.
Well, I can print the sheet and cut it again. It's not a big deal. You hit her with the cane, didn't you?
I did hit her with the cane.
So she attempts to attack you. So I will need a speed defense roll. But you're not prone, so it's one level more difficult.
Is that effort?
Oh, yeah, I guess I... But then I'm out one might.
No, speed.
It's a
defense.
speed.
Oh, speed. Okay, yeah. I'll use effort.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna do 20. This one. Oops, sorry. Wow, look at that 5. It's because Jared did it too.
Alright, so you will take 3 points of might damage.
Take 2, right? 'Cause
If
armor
you have
was-
armor. Yep. And that will bring up Leo.
That one.
Yeah, you're on. Boy.
You're at 1?
Yeah.
I'm going to get the folks disabled.
Too late.
Too late. You're disabled?
I'm impaired.
Nice.
We're about to be debilitated.
I'm impaired.
I'm going to kill somebody.
Gosh, I want to use a Cypher, but everyone's in the way.
What do you want to use?
Oh,
You know, I'm gonna be
It's
this bad
tactically
off.
sound.
I'm gonna use this be this bad off if you didn't hit me.
You know, if the GM had the figure properly placed, maybe I would have shot. That was another GM intrusion.
Don't blame me, because you have the doom that
Yeah.
comrades.
I'm doomed. And yeah, I'm going to position myself in a way that when I shoot Granny, it's not going to get through and hit one of my comrades.
Okay, so where do you want to move to?
I'm thinking I'll move.
Well,
Whoa,
just
where's
hit
the?
behind me in the head.
Firewall's like right here.
Okay, well, I'll get, not in the firewall, but behind them. So I'll go through and hit the wall on the other side.
Okay, just roll 1 to 3 so I can make you just miss the way you're shooting and hit somebody.
I don't want to. I'm applying effort.
Effort doesn't help if you roll 1.
Well,
A 2 or a 3 now.
yeah.
I think after shooting that kid, it should be a 4 too.
Right?
That's an 18.
18 hits and can do extra damage even.
Yes, it will. So that'll be 7 points.
7.
7.
So, goes through her incorporeal shape, but does not hit a comrade. But only does half damage. Because she's incorporeal.
And now you gotta reload.
Nah, I reload.
That brings up the children, who will move adjacent to people if they are not already.
Gee, thanks.
You know that would come to me. Sable would come to me.
And Sable's still chasing after you, blood streaming from her shoulder.
Thanks for me. I got
And
one
anybody that has a
voice.
child on you, roll.
15.
She gets so distracted by the dice.
How much does it do? 2 points?
2 points, but armor will apply.
Got a 20 and a 4.
Yeah, we're gonna reroll that.
I think the ministers could die.
Minister's definitely gonna die.
Why not you use the
That's a 10. All right.
recovery roll?
I did earlier. We haven't stopped since.
So I didn't stop to take a.
And also, I rolled a 1 on my recovery roll, so I recovered a massive.
A massive 2. Oh, that hurts.
Yep.
We know somebody in the group has a medical kit that they could use their action to help you out with.
Who has that? Is that?
Not me.
I'm like,
Is it not you?
it may be one of these.
Oh, that's one of the other ones.
I have a outdoor survival.
I think I remembered wrong. I thought it gave.
Oh, is it a first aid kit?
Yeah.
Oh shoot!
It's a healing thing. It's
The soldier has it.
it heals.
Maybe that's why you suck so much in the war.
He was a medic and he never treated anybody.
Oh, you're just dead. I'm sorry.
Don't tell me about this. How do I use the
Fletcher,
first
you're
aid
up.
kit?
It's an action to use,
Okay.
and it's a recovery.
It's a
roll for
recovery.
sure.
Is it a one-time use?
Yes.
Yes, one-time use.
Okay. Okay. Good to know. Seeing as I don't have any bullets.
Whose turn is it?
Yours.
Okay. I didn't hear that. I'm gonna step away from these. Hopefully not too long, God-forsaken children. And I'm gonna start chanting my encouragement again for defense. I'm reading out of my Bible again.
And that will bring up Henry.
That's me. Okay, play with that. I was
Mom's
gonna do
gotta work.
something. So using the recovery takes an action, right?
That's correct.
Okay, can I do that? Because I'm not
That-
looking too hard.
That might be pretty wise.
But I also kind of want to drink this thing. I have a D6. Yeah. Will you make that 1-7?
Alexandra.
Can I shoot and then move back? Or is it my whole action to like, do one thing?
Depends on how far you're wanting to move back.
I wouldn't move back too far to the firewall.
Well, I guess I meant like this way. Can I do that, or is that like too close to her?
No, you can do that. You can go up to like 4 squares and still attack.
Okay.
I'm being a little loosey-goosey with the rules for that. Now you can't move through a child because the child is an opponent. Which means you might not.
I wouldn't risk it because the firewall is right
It's
here,
right there.
so you would be passing through here regardless of where you.
What I want to do is just get behind her so I can push her into the wall.
She's incorporeal.
Yeah, can't you through her?
Can you pass through her without getting hurt, or?
Can you push an
She's incorporeal.
incorporeal creature? Is the second question.
But if I force blast her, can I use it? Effort or EXP to try to like push her into the wall?
You can try.
Sure.
And you can try to move through her.
I'm gonna try to move through her.
Okay.
Right there.
I need a intellect defense roll as you move through her being.
6.
6.
Can I re-roll with one of
Your
my
mind-
XPs?
Oh, now you want to reroll?
No.
Not the 4 damage to everybody. Now you want to do it on the 6.
Listen, let me play my game. You worried you.
Yes, you can use the experience.
Okay. That's 15.
15. Your psyche is salted by her will,
Even with the +1 to friends?
but you just manage to fight off the effects. You do realize I probably don't want to ever do that again,
Okay.
but you seem unaffected.
Then can I still attack her?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna try to expend effort.
Okay.
For force damage to see if I can like try to push her towards the firewall.
Okay.
It's a 9.
And just the amount of trauma that you managed to face off with her will trying to just rip your personality basically from you just keeps you from being able to focus your concentration quite well enough, and your shot just you really just can't even focus the power. Nothing is kind of a dud type effect. And that brings her up. She is. Who's that on the other side of her?
That's Henry.
That's Henry.
No, it's Alexandra.
Okay. She is going to attack probably Alexandra, because Alexandra was the one possessed by Leandra. So I need a speed defense roll.
From me?
Yes.
Okay. 14.
You have an asset.
So with the asset, that will succeed.
Okay.
So her attack misses you, and then she shifts over here next to Fletcher.
This one?
Yep. And that will bring up Leo.
Leo will come save the day.
Why have you saved the day yet?
Jump and leave. I've been shooting children.
You're gonna shoot that child!
I'm not shooting anyone.
Oh, okay.
I'm applying first aid kit to my good friend Fletcher.
Good friend Fletcher.
So what do I need to do? How do I?
Roll
Oh, it's just a
Get
D6?
D6 and a plus 1.
Oh gosh. It's 4.
4, alright.
That brings the children up. They will move to whoever is closest to them.
Let's do...
Well, you know Sable's gonna follow you, regardless
Yeah,
since you
Sable's
shot her.
gonna
So one on you, and 2 on you
yeah,
again.
probably don't.
See, I think that this one was closer to you.
Friend, I need my hand.
GM intrusion.
Nice.
Are we rolling for kids?
Yeah.
I failed both of those.
You felt both.
Oh wait, there are 2 GM intrusions. I got 1 out of 3.
I'm gonna reroll.
Wow.
Nice.
Yay, 20.
Someone give me an experience point.
I
got
used
an
mine
8.
to survive.
You got an 8. Okay. Do you have any asset or trained or
Defense.
anything?
Yeah.
Defense? That was attack. Oh, defense.
Defense now.
Oh.
You have attack for the next minute, but you also have defense now.
Would you give us an asset for defense?
Yes.
Oh,
You all have an asset.
Okay.
for
So with the asset, you made it.
defense. She rolled a 20.
20. Okay. So you made it.
Well, with the asset only. With the asset, none of them hit me because this is 0. Right? Because I'm
Right.
specialized. But I still
well-
rolled.
Okay.
One
But
and
here's the
3.
deal. So you still roll.
Yeah.
Was one of the rolls an actual
Oh shoot!
1?
I didn't have to roll since it was a 0.
Right.
Ah, darn it.
Right.
Yes, there was a 1 to 3.
Okay. So actually, you
Yeah.
get hit.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So that's 2 damage each. If
Okay.
you have armor, it does apply.
Yeah.
And because I have GM intrusion, Granny heals.
What are you doing? Stop rolling when you don't need a roll.
I didn't know we had defense
Huh.
asset right
What
now.
is wrong with you?
I didn't realize that you didn't have to roll. That's nice.
Yeah, if you get below a level of 1, you don't even have to. You can just go
God,
pass.
I didn't realize he was that dexterous, that
And
dodgy.
that brings up Fletcher.
Just screwed the world.
This is my wizard doesn't like the loading curve.
What?
Just screwing up the world.
It's rough.
You just have to force her to let you love her. And then she just accepts it.
That's what happened with my cat. Now he loves people.
I think that's called rape.
Well,
No, she stretches.
I'm going to back up again and continue reading from my book because I can't afford not to at this point. I'm gonna go back there. I don't want to be in the way of Leo's shots either.
Are you still giving the defense?
Yes,
Buff?
yes, I am still reading.
That will bring up Henry.
I'm gonna drink this green liquid.
That's always a good thing.
And I guess is that an action?
Yes. So Henry pulls out this like vial of this like swirling green liquid and consumes it.
No.
It looks pretty nasty.
Delicious.
But as you're looking at it, you realize you have to drink it. And that brings up Alexandra.
I'm going to try to force blast it. Greeny. It's not gonna work because it's a 5.
That won't work. So the blast misses her and slams into one of the columns there and does some damage to the stone. And Granny will move over to Leo because he's closest.
Oh, boy.
And will attack Leo.
It's a 5 with 3 assets.
3. So. Oh, it just misses. So you'll take 3 points of might damage. Armor plus if you have it.
Alright.
And you can see what looks to be some sort of like green glowing energy starting to like build up within her misty form.
Right.
And that will bring up Leo.
I am... Okay. I want to use a Cypher. And so what do I have to do for it to hit? I have to roll a certain...
What is the Cypher?
It's the pistol shape that will project a wall of light.
Nope, that'll just create a wall.
Awesome.
Wherever you want it to be.
Wherever I want it to be.
You're
That's
gonna hit this child.
30 by 30.
Yes.
No, I can come through the back right here, and then I'll hit the child. So that's what I want to do. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
And it inflicts 7 points of damage.
7?
Yep.
Okay,
On
so
anything
now,
else is
now
zero.
you've got a wall of hell's fire and a wall of lightning.
Oh, lightning?
Yeah,
Oh,
lightning.
jeez, I thought you said light.
No, it's lightning.
And I was like, that's not so bad.
So where's the lightning wall?
Right that way. Right behind her.
And that brings the children up. I think they're all engaged with someone, aren't they?
Yeah.
Alright, so if you're engaged, make your defense roll.
I'm not gonna roll, guys. Don't worry.
19.
You're good.
A 5.
A 5. Is that with the acid? It still won't pass. You'll take 2 points of
You don't get a
damage.
+1 unless you're like right next to
since
her?
It's like if we're doing the same thing, like fighting the same person.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
So, since I have 2 armor, I just don't take anything.
correct.
Nice. You're like, I don't care about these
Children,
kids.
come on.
And that will bring up.
I'll just run
Fletcher.
around and get children.
Wait, you bonk someone, it might be bad because
It's
they
like
walked through
Pokemon.
hell's fire to get to you.
Yeah.
They're true.
Very resilient children, though. Walking through hellfire, taking a bullet in the shoulder, and they're still going.
Well, the one that took the
I'm just
bullet
gonna stay
down
where I'm
the
at
hellfire.
and continue to read from the good book
I mean, who would miss
because I can't
her?
afford not to.
Hmm?
I
That's
said,
it.
who would miss her?
Okay.
Parents are
That will
good.
bring up Alexandra.
Alexandra.
That's true. Who's gonna take when we're done with this?
I mean, these 3, like, they have parents. Sable doesn't. If we have to kill a child, let's choose Sable.
That's because she can't obviously live without her parents.
Yeah, but
I'm glad I was able.
I'm just saying, if we have to kill a child,
Well, yeah, but there's only one Sable. There's 3 other kids. You know, better get 2 back than none back, right? Just something to think about.
I married that.
Well, you have multiple kids, right?
I raised this one that's talking about killing Sable because she's an orphan.
Great parents.
To anybody that watches the episode, we actually do care a lot about children. They're role-playing some characters that have been through some rather mentally traumatic.
Get to the church.
We need to go to the
I'm gonna
church.
force damage her again. Try to. That's 12.
That will miss.
I'm doing nothing.
You need to hit her. She's corporeal.
I can't do it.
That brings up Granny. She's going to get out of the lightning ball because she doesn't like that.
He didn't like that noise.
Sorry, lightning. Our wizard lightning wall is going to come over to here.
Mm-hmm.
Why's she going after you?
I don't know. Doesn't like the good book words, I guess.
And she points her arms at both of you.
Oh no.
And this like green billowing smoke pours out across both of you.
Excellent.
I need might defense rolls.
I'm so good at that.
Dio and Eve. Yep.
Done.
Awesome.
Dio and Eve.
14 with an asset.
14 with an asset will pass.
4 with an asset.
4 with an asset will fail. You will take 5 points of might damage.
Okay, so do I go lower than 0?
You go to your speed.
You'll
really?
take damage to 0, and then anything that rolls over is to speed.
You said 5?
Yep.
Oh, that's rough. Rolling for those children really done me in.
But it's Leo's turn.
Leo's turn. He will use his recovery roll.
That's probably smart.
Oh, 6.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah. So that's 7. Put 5 here.
You also see the eyes of the children kind of flare.
Oh, darn it.
Excellent.
And
You forgot something?
Yeah. When I did my recovery roll, I got another action. Oh.
Nice.
So those of you fighting children, they are now bumped up to a level 4 against the speed
I
defense.
have to roll now.
Why? Do they still do 2 damage?
Huh?
They still do 2 damage?
Don't know.
Are they going now?
Get by them. Yeah, they're going now.
Oh, so I need a roll.
Oh, that's a 15.
That's a 19.
That's a 9.
Okay, so you pass both. You got what?
8.
8. Okay, so you will take 2 points of might damage. And that'll bring up Fletcher.
I feel like I just went.
Everyone's just missing.
What did you do?
I drank my liquid.
That's weird.
Yeah, Alexandra missed. Gray moved over there. Zach, both of you. Leo just did a healing thing.
Well, I'm gonna get away from Green.
You want to move this way?
Towards the lightning wall?
Yeah, through the lightning wall.
Through the lightning wall. Man. Instantly just go through it and fall down. Like, nope. Oh man, you know what? I should have just left. Yeah, we're just gonna go.
It's like, I'm done. Up the
Yeah,
ladder.
up the ladder. Yeah, we're just gonna go that way and continue to read louder now.
Louder.
Louder.
Henry.
More furious.
Can I get to her?
No, there's
how
a
far
lightning
away?
wall.
Well, you said it was like 30 feet. It went
Yeah,
to
there.
like
Yeah.
here.
You can come through there.
So I don't know, like, if that's considered.
You can move up to 20 feet and still attack. You can move up to 50 feet and not do anything else.
Can I move like 20 feet and pick up a rock and throw it at her?
Sure, I'll let you do that.
Alright.
But where are you going to move? Are you moving after you throw?
No, I was kind of.
You move like here,
Yeah.
away from the lightning wall.
She's still incorporeal.
Did the fireball get that far?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little space. I think there's about 5 foot
Yeah.
block between them.
It says lightning fire.
Don't move any, or you might
Alright.
take like 14 points of damage between
Yes.
the two.
So Great May's going to move and push you.
Very nice. That's a 18. Unless she's still fighting Granny, then it's a 19.
I'm still fighting Green.
So 19.
Okay.
Team with the rock.
That will most assuredly hit.
Okay.
Rock would be a light weapon. but you do get bonus damage, so that would be 4 points.
And I throw it. I'm like, these are my children.
Why'd you do that?
Taunting.
So
Going crazy.
she takes half damage because she's still incorporeal. And that will bring up Alexandra.
Alexandra's gonna attempt to force blast her again. Maybe I'll hit her this time. That's gonna be a 2. I quit.
Dang.
Yeah, I need more experience left.
Oh,
Can I get my experience?
yeah. If
Can
you
I
had
do
it,
it
right?
now?
You can use your experience to roll somebody else's roll, right?
I don't think so.
Oh, never mind.
Darn.
He's like, no, I want to fun.
It's like, no, I want to keep.
All right, so you go to try to blast Granny, and your attack is low, and
Pushes me.
Wipes out the children.
you blast the little boy that is there instead.
Oh.
What's the damage?
On the onslaught, 4 force damage.
And the boy gets slammed to the ground and is unmoving. And you feel horrified as you realize you just killed a child. The horror level steps up by another
Oh
point.
my goodness.
Her horror or the whole
The
horror?
whole
Oh,
horror as
jeez.
all of you see this child get blasted and killed.
See, like, your
This is
characters are
first
always
time.
murderers.
I know, right?
Shanta, Alexandra.
They're accidentally become a murderer before them.
What?
I think she's still going to attack. You just talked about the children being yours. That's right.
She's gonna
I
have
have
to,
the
if she's
best
huge
one.
though.
She
Yeah.
can go right there. Because she's incorporeal, she can stand on that.
Cheating.
That's not cheating, she's incorporeal.
What if she becomes corporeal on the rock?
That could be fun, could it?
Yeah, somebody could hit.
So I will need
I just did.
speed defense.
I'm a little job.
That's a 16.
Oh,
And
nice.
I have an asset.
You dodge out of the way.
I keep talking.
That will bring up Leo.
So I'm going
You want a
to.
kitten? Chance that we can get a kitten's Christmas.
I'm gonna pull out my dagger and walk up and try to stab her with it.
Okay.
Sure you don't want to stand the child? Just
No, we're trying to keep stable around. That is a 14. But with its it has a acid.
Light weapon, so
that's
it's
flat.
level up, so that would.
Cool. 2 points of damage.
Okay.
It's like 1 point. Unless it's a special.
That brings up the
I
children.
don't know, was it
Oh
William?
yeah, it is an outcast.
Yes, it is.
What?
Was it William?
And you hear in your head, yes, kill her. And that brings up the children. So whoever they're closest to, they will move to an attack.
Say we'll still attack.
Rip.
Oh, don't come near me.
Demon spawn?
Thanks.
2 rolls to make.
Okay, I got a 3.
Yay! Granny heals.
What's wrong with you?
I don't. What's wrong with me? But it also the child hits me.
Heals again!
That's
Because it's
2 points.
12, I have 3 points. Wait, 3 assets.
Means you need a 3 or better.
Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, so I'm okay with
So you pass it, but
yeah,
then you
okay.
have intrusion.
Gotcha.
Okay. What do you get?
Got 2 and a 17.
And 17 passes, the 2 fails, it's 2 points of damage. And Granny heals.
So are we meant to survive this? Or?
You gotta quit rolling horror stuff.
Sorry.
That brings up Fletcher.
Tila, take the
You're
party.
doing good, Fletcher.
It might be just more beneficial if you just stop attacking.
Well, that wasn't her attack, that was her being attacked.
I was saying.
I rolled 2
And the children are literally just beating you guys with
I
rocks.
would say like we need to kill the children, but then the horror level just goes up. It's a lose-lose.
Get out of
I can't do anything with what I'm doing. I'm
here.
gonna keep doing
Open
it.
smack that.
Yes, keep doing that.
I'm gonna keep
Be
doing it.
careful.
I'm gonna try to hit Granny again.
Kill another
Try.
kid. Kill another kid. Kill another kid.
To 2.
Oh my goodness. Bye-bye, Sable.
Sorry, other child.
The other child's not really.
Oh no, cool. I got all of them, so initially I'll murder them all.
That's actually going to hit Henry.
Oh.
Sorry, bro.
So what's the damage that Henry takes?
4.
But I get armor, right?
Right.
What is it? For
Was
That's
the
force.
might?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so you get armor for that one. How's Henry looking?
Probably a lot better than some people.
Yeah.
That brings up Granny.
I feel like you skipped me.
I think I did.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Past
Go
2
ahead.
times.
I'm gonna hit her with my cane. It's a 14 with an asset.
With the asset, we'll hit
Nice.
So that's gonna be 4 damage.
4 damage.
Like,
Your cane just goes right through her.
What was the thing you drank? What's it supposed to do?
it gives me +1 armor.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's why she's hit 2 armor.
Oh,
I'm gonna start talking about how she needs to leave my children alone.
As we killed him.
Is it much?
And she reaches down to just grab hold of your head. I need a speed defense.
I kind of use an experience point on that. Because this sounds scary.
That sounds scary. Is all
Do you
your
want to
experience?
use an effort?
Can you afford to use an effort?
She has 8 speed.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll use an effort. I guess so.
That's your might.
Not 5. Lower than my
Have
speed.
you used your recovery roll?
Yeah. That's a 11 with 2 things. Effort and an
11
asset.
with 2?
Yeah.
11 with 2 will succeed.
Ooh. I guess I didn't really have to.
No, you needed 2 with the 11. So that will bring up Leo.
It's okay. It's okay, guys. I'll hold in for it.
I'm gonna go at her again with my dagger.
I'm doing everything I can.
I appreciate the assets.
Oh, it's a 19.
Oh, nice.
I
So
don't
you can
know
do an extra 3 points damage, or you can strike a specific body part, you can knock her back, you can move past her, or you can distract her.
I'm just gonna do extra 3 damage.
Okay.
So that would do a total of 7.
So 7.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot.
That's Cypher right there.
It's you stab and the blade goes right through,
Yeah.
but she does kind of scream and looks your way. That will bring up the children again.
The children.
Did you do it again?
I got a 4. But we're on a 4 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're on 4 now.
Yeah.
I got a 7 and a 20.
The 20 passes. The 7 you will get hit for 2. You succeed, so you don't get hit, but it is a thing. Granny's gonna take a free attack. Give me another speed defense roll.
Me?
As she attempts to grab your head again.
It's a 16.
Oh, so you make it. Nicely done. And Fletcher's up. I think Fletcher's keeping all of you alive.
Just certainly keeping us alive.
Come around this side, and at this point, he is yelling. Just yelling. Frantically yelling.
Save us all.
And that will bring up Henry. As the Bible reading has reached a new crescendo and is echoing through the chamber.
I'm gonna hit her with my cane some more.
We're on the last chapter of the Bible. We have to
I only have 7 more passages.
That's only a 7.
That
8.
8 will miss.
At least it wasn't a war.
An ass.
Or 2 or 3 or 4.
That will bring up Alexandra.
Yeah, I'm gonna get like a different D20. Let me still look fun.
It's only one.
I know, probably will. I'm gonna try to Force Blast Granny. It's a 7.
It wasn't a 1, 2, 3, 4.
No, it wasn't one, but
That
still
will
didn't do
miss,
it.
unfortunately. And Granny goes. She is still not happy with the person who's trying to steal her children.
Yeah, now we have the power to
17.
Dang. Opulous rolls.
Killing it. She's trying to get a hair.
That will bring up Leo.
Alright. Going in with the dagger again.
I think the way he just doesn't reload his gun.
It's too much effort, and it's it's only a 5, but
Was
the
it
two,
4?
4.
It just barely.
Yeah.
Don't kill another child.
That bring up the children.
You can die to the
Will you
children.
stop?
Nope.
I got 4.
And 4.
I got a 4.
Both of you have 4?
Yeah.
Just murder them all.
Okay.
Scared over it.
You get clipped across the head. The child throws the rock, and it does an extra 2 points of damage for 4.
An extra? Oh my goodness.
It's for 4, right?
Yeah.
Oh well, wait, that passes for you,
Yeah,
right?
it passes.
Never mind, you didn't get hit. You also rolled a 4. Okay, so you take extra damage. You take 4 points of my damage.
So you on the ground, huh?
No, not yet.
Oh, my bad. I forget that your count number is weird. No, you on the ground.
That one's not out.
I didn't see you were dead. You were just on the ground.
But they all 3 have to be like that.
No.
If you're like that, you're on the ground.
Oh.
If all 3 are like that, you're dead.
Yeah. Dead is dead.
Oh.
Yeah, she didn't scratch. She just
That was the
put it
children,
in.
so that will bring up Fletcher.
Yeah.
Yes, you all see Alexandra go down.
Well, there's a lightning ball on the way, so
No.
I don't know how much I'm not even
Okay,
attention to that.
oh.
I'm face first
I
in
mean-
my book.
She's the one who brought us here.
You all brought yourselves here.
Oh no,
True.
she's like, we need to go in the cellar. No, we don't. We need to go down the trapdoor. No, we
And
don't.
save the kids.
Did I murder?
If her die rolls hadn't been so bad.
Yeah, that's my turn. That's what I'm doing.
I have all
Okay.
the power and no ability to use it.
That will bring up Alexandra, who is
You
just.
get me.
Can I use?
Oh yeah, I did. Henry, sorry.
I might hit her with my cane. 9.
9 will miss. You just right through her. Doesn't seem to do anything.
Can you use a recovery roll if you're down?
Yes.
I got one.
Which.
And remember, you get 2 that can be used as an action.
I already used one
Okay.
earlier.
Okay.
If she starts on this way, my room can do it.
Alright, so that brings up Granny. I need a speed defense roll from Henry.
Three. Oh,
9.
Do you have any experience?
No.
Okay. So her hands grab hold of your head, and you guys see you like from your perspective, she has hold of your head. You guys see her hands go into her head. Okay. You take 3 points of might damage.
Can I use armor?
No, because she's
I think
incorporeal.
so.
And she begins assaulting your intellect, your personality, literally trying to just rip your personality from your body.
That's not very nice.
that's what she does to the children.
And that will bring up Leo.
Let's go again. I don't like this game.
You got 3.
Roll a 3.
I just don't like the past 4 or 5 rolls and then 3s and 4s.
To be fair, it's not
So-
really this bad.
I think I may abandon the optional rule of the horror level because it gets crazy.
Boy.
Well, when we have 2 people not rolling over 4.
It's something we control.
I would only recommend
So you go to stab, and you go through,
That you can
and your
break.
knife implants into Henry.
Thanks. How much damage is that?
That does 2 damage.
Well, at least it doesn't hurt me.
At least you're not an
Oh, that's
outcast.
good.
Yeah, because her armor.
Yeah. That makes me feel better.
That
This
brings
is
the
stressful.
children
I mean, you
up.
already shot me.
This is so
Any more
stressful.
fours?
You're probably
Better be
going-
2 more.
17 and
Oh,
20.
I
Nice.
got
Right,
16.
You're good. You're good. Which brings up Fletcher. I'll try not to forget you this time.
Thanks.
I'm good.
You're good?
I'm good.
Same thing?
Same thing.
You are actually keeping the party alive.
This is all I can do.
Henry.
Can I, like, do stuff? Like,
Yep.
Get her out of
I
your
can't
head.
get her out of my head?
Do you want to use your action to try to get her out of your head?
You don't want her to attack. You want her to attack your intellect.
Yeah, like, I kind of want her to attack my intellect more than my might.
Go for
So I'm
that.
just gonna swing with my cane.
Okay.
Get off of me, crazy lady. 17.
Setting hits.
Boom.
5-point damage.
And it does +1, right?
I counted it.
Oh, okay.
Because you're still attacking her, right?
Well, I'm on the ground.
Would I still get +1?
Well, you get +1 because you roll a 17. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I rolled a 16.
Oh, I got you.
So-
yeah, you would.
Okay. Now it's 5 damage.
And so that's Henry, and that brings up Alexandra.
Can I stand up and attack? Or do I just stand up?
You can stand up and attack.
Okay. I'm gonna attempt to attack her.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Boom.
There you go.
With 4 force damage.
With 4 force damage.
4. So she's finally corporeal.
With her hands inside your brain.
Whoops.
But also standing on the rock.
Also standing on the rock.
I think
with
the rock interrupts her and she like freaks out and yeah.
I mean, she's in the
There's
lightning
actually
What
world.
happens as she becomes corporeal? She is pushed out of any solid object that she might be in, which means her hands are pulled from your head. Okay? But that is going to inflict 3 intellect damage. She is also shifted.
She gets pushed into the hell's firewall.
She will get pushed into the
Oh,
hell
yes.
and she is corporeal when she hits that, so she takes the full damage. And Granny DeMay screams as her body is ripped asunder, and the children's eyes quit glowing.
Well, I only killed one.
Yeah, got a 3.
Right, you'll have some kids left over.
That's why you have many.
These country farmers, this is what they do. They just have a lot of kids. Never know when one's going to eat my wolf.
Him or me?
You.
And I'm gonna kind of collapse to the ground and hold Sable in my arms and try to prevent the bleeding
Yeah.
What about me?
out of just Sable. I did it to her.
All of the children are crying, especially Sable.
You shot me.
I'm still staring into the Bible, just screaming
So,
Oh.
as loud as possible.
we defeated her, but we have to do an exorcism to like rid her of this place.
How do you know this?
Well, talk to
Leandra told me, and
And
I
she
like
points
point
at
to
empty
where.
space.
Yeah.
Leandra's the one who got us into this mess.
I can do this.
Okay, you do this. I'm just
how do I
saying.
go about doing that? It says intellect based.
Yes, it is. So you will need to make an intellect attack.
That's a 12.
Okay. You don't think that one had any benefit?
Can I try to help her?
Sure.
Yeah, do I get her benefit still since we're both attacking the same thing, or is she attacking it right now?
You're actually not attacking anything.
But it says if we collaborate on something.
Oh, well then yes, then that works.
Does anybody want
Okay.
to stop Screaming Priest? Because he can probably help.
I would assume that you would have stopped.
That's what I've been doing for the past 2 months. I'm not stopping.
he doesn't even seem to be aware that the battle's over. It's like in the Bible, and he's just screaming
I
scripture
just
as
like
he's
pick up
reading
a
it.
rock and like toss it. Do I roll again,
I kind
or
of like the white noise in the background.
Yeah, what?
It's feel better.
It's gonna get real quiet when I stop.
Yeah, it is.
Eerily quiet. Is it over?
So when she tosses a rock at you, what do you do?
I'm gonna look up and make sure that nothing's coming at me.
You see the children crying, kind of somewhat being comforted by the guy that shot one of them.
Is it over?
And she seems to be trying to do something spiritual.
Oh, let me help you with that, dear. What do you need?
or we have to do an exorcism?
I can help with that.
Can I give him an asset?
No, I can give you an asset.
He can give you an asset.
Oh, okay. Like I personally have.
Yeah, I can give you an asset and a +1.
I got 14 plus
Okay.
15,
16.
16 plus an asset.
Plus an asset.
Alright, you seem to feel a spiritual resistance, but you realize that you're feeling that because you are forcing the spirit to begin to move away from this plane.
You need roll again, or
Basically, what this is, it's a series of test challenges. You have to get so many successes before you get so many failures.
okay.
As I'm creating table, I'm also going to reload my revolver.
Just in case.
I got 4 on that one.
4.
4.
It's okay.
Which you're giving her an asset, and she's got +2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm her. If I help her, then she gets a +1 and asset.
Okay, alright. Just so you know, because you had the success, you now have an additional asset.
Okay.
So you have 2 assets and
plus-
+2.
Is that GM true?
So 16 plus 2 assets, you
Yep.
said? Okay.
That's another success, so now you're at 3 assets. And you can feel Granny DeMay's spirit weakening.
Okay. 9 plus 3 assets.
+2. +2.
It was a 7.
Oh.
So I added 9.
I don't know what she's doing. What's she doing over there, Steph? I don't know.
Where'd she go?
She's under the chair, I think.
She was. Oh, I hear you. Hey.
There she is.
It just, I start talking to a spirit again, and I basically just say, like, you're welcome.
She's hiding.
Trying to get her to go out the door. You got her. There you go.
I won't hold it.
As we're trying to put it outside.
I'll put her outside in a minute. If she's scared, you're just gonna have to hold her close and then she'll calm down.
She's like, nope, nope.
She's really skittish. She had a real rough, scary start to her life.
I don't want to get rid of her.
Yeah.
Okay, so you see Alexandra kind of talking to the air again, and then she just says, "You're welcome."
You're welcome.
Great spirit is gone.
I'm certainly glad that we were able to make Grand Spirit gone.
I'm glad you didn't kill Sable.
At least I didn't kill one of the
I just think it would have been
children.
hilarious if he'd rolled a natural 20 and chose the extra damage, because that just would have been a bullet through the head of Sable.
Boom.
You have succeeded. You defeated Granny DeMay, and you have exorcised her spirit. The house is now free of haunting.
Maybe she won't be fat. We exercised her.
However, Sable is an orphan,
Sable is
and according to Henry, better off dead.
I'm just saying, if we had to kill one.
We chose the wrong one.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the three of the farmer's boys is unfortunately dead.
Stuck to me like paper.
But so ends your adventures in the DeMay orphanage.
Oh boy.
So how bad was everybody?
I was at 267.
I had a lot of intellect,
I
but I had
only had
nothing.
7
really else
intellect
of anything
left.
You had what?
Only has 7 intellect left.
Wow.
Oh, and I ended up getting 4 might towards the end.
Yeah.
5, 6, 6.
Oh, you were pretty good.
Yeah, I was okay.
Yeah, you were doing good.
I've
That's that speedy defense, duck and weaving.
Yeah, 3 assets is nice on speed.
I was a little surprised nobody asked me if it was possible to knock the children out.
I figured if we kept like hitting them with stuff, like it would have happened.
I didn't think about it.
I thought about it, but I wasn't.
Yeah, I was expecting you to, because you did it earlier, I was expecting you to flip your pistol around and
Oh yeah.
plunk and knock them out.
It's like
I chose to make one super crispy. Just push him into the wall.